Hey guys, welcome back. GhettoRig.
Episode 61. Welcome back, guys. Another day with just us, just the home crew in the house. Uh, Next week we'll have a guest for you guys, but for now it's just gonna be us. Oh, I forgot to turn on the other lights. But so I have a question to
You
start
want to
off.
pull up the couch a bit so he's flashing on your side a little bit? Yeah. Hey, we got lights.
So start off.
Well, we got some lights.
Some
Let
lights,
there
I
be
know.
light here now in a second.
Yeah. So, what is your guys' cutoff for like the age of a girl like you guys would have sexual relationship? Not necessarily
Sexual relationships with?
wife. Yeah, not necessarily wife, but what's like the cutoff in age that you'd be like, yeah, that's too old. Like I can't. Right? Like what's the
Just to
Too
smash?
old?
just to smash? Yeah, too old.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going the other way.
I don't know, man.
No, hey, yo.
Because, like, I'm not fucking with 18-year-olds. Like, they're just too young, you know?
Why
Nah.
not? She's legal, right?
Wait, how old
It's
are you?
illegal,
How
but
old
10 years fucking younger
How-
than me.
how
Like,
old are
you
No,
know?
but he's talking about just to smash.
No. This isn't my question. It's my question.
Alex, how
what's
old
the
are you
too-
again?
What's too?
28.
Go
28?
further
Yeah, I
back.
can see that.
Go for okay. So, what's the
Wait,
what's the
28
oldest?
is the oldest?
No, that's how old he is, bro.
No, that's
yeah,
how old I
okay,
am.
okay.
Yeah. How old would you guys go?
Just to smash a relationship,
Just
or
to smash,
even
bro.
like,
Oh, just to smash? I'd probably go up to like 37, 38. That's probably what I would go. Yeah.
so have you seen that? Have you seen that meme of this 70-year-old model that's been going around? She's kind of blonde, looks great.
No? I have not.
Yeah, so I mean, if here's the whole thing about it. Like, if she looks good, I'll smash it.
Yeah,
Why
just
not?
type in GILF and start, cutting off the ones that you wouldn't.
Yeah, she looks good, I'd smash it. Now, as a relationship, that's a totally different story.
So what? So if she looks good, you'll smash regardless of the number, right? It's kind of just
Yeah, who cares?
okay. So
Do
that
you-
70-year-old,
do you
you'd
guys,
smash.
Do you
Yeah.
guys know
She
who
was
Brandy
fine
Love
enough?
is?
I mean, if she's
What does she
consistent,
look like?
if she's consistent with the young ones as far as the looks go, then yeah.
Do you guys know who Brandy Love is?
Who?
Brandy Love.
No.
She's a porn star.
Yeah.
Brandy, Love.
Yes. Would you smash or no?
I'm gonna look up the picture first. Hold on.
Yeah.
how old is
I
she?
see that you're already typing.
Is she like a milf born star on purpose?
Yes.
Like that's what she
yes,
does?
Yes, she is.
I think she's passed on to, like, mature cougar area now.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Well, she's no longer a milf. She's now a cougar. She's gotten to that age.
Yeah.
There, I don't know.
I
man,
mean-
there's something
Let me
about
see.
her. Like, just
There's something about her.
I don't.
Oh, I thought you were saying it in a good way.
No.
I'm
there's
just
something
saying,
about
if
her
Sarah
that I'm
J ever was like, here you go, I'm taking it.
So
Don't care how
the
old
question
she
gets
is.
a little deeper, right? Like
Natalie said, "How about Martha Stewart?"
like, hell
Martha
no.
Stewart. Oh, let me pull
Hell
that
Yo,
up.
no.
Martha Stewart fucks. She hangs out with
Yo.
Snoop Dogg and shit like
What the
that. That
fuck does
bitch
that have
knows
to do with
how
you
to
fucking?
Yeah,
fuck.
she smashes, but she ugly. She looks old.
Yeah, she looks
Like she
old,
can't. Like
right? And she sounds
she
old.
can look like that.
Yeah,
whoever-
but I got other priorities when I'm smashing Martha. That's when you trying to get that home cooked goodness, you
Trying
know,
to get
like
the-
Home
that
cooked.
check on the sides too, like
Fuck the
get
check and the
paid
home
for that
cooked. I'm
shit.
trying to get the connections.
He's trying to cook fucking.
I'll make the check on the side on my own once I get the connection. Shit.
What connection are you trying to get? You trying to find the plug? That's Snoop.
Nah, man. Snoop is not. I mean, Snoop probably has a plug for sure, but Martha, bro, remember she went to prison for insider trading. This bitch is in those echelons where they're doing the shit that Mr. Epstein used to do. She's that caliber. So I no, like to me the girl has to like whatever the lady or the girl whatever it is.
But like,
She has to
give
look
me a
good.
give me a general consensus, right? Like, what do you think is like a good number that you'd probably be like, yeah, that's probably around the time when they, on average, right? Because this 70-year-old model
Probably wouldn't go
probably-
past 80.
Well, okay, you just feel morally
You are
wrong
looking
at that
for
point.
a
I mean,
sugar
I feel like I
mama.
just break her, like
Well, let's
Oh,
just
my
look at it
hip.
this way. Melania Trump is
Damn,
what?
so
Clem-
you got
damn
a
near
large
60?
scale, man. 80, goddamn.
Melania Trump is damn near
Uh,
60. 53, 54?
She doesn't look that good though.
No, in the face, obviously not. But like her body and everything, she's still there.
I mean, yeah, she's still there, but
But see, this is the thing. That's why I asked. Are you trying to
She's
smash or wife
53.
up?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Just like your max
I've
number
already
where
given my
on
answer.
average, right? Like most women,
I've already
right? Because
given my answer and I stick with it.
I'm with Miguel and probably maybe a little older, right? Like probably wouldn't go past 41, 42.
Why not?
Why
Just because
not?
the average women around that age to me aren't like that. Once they get past that point, like they're to find one that is even slightly attractive is very hard for me. I think.
Fucking isn't
I
Mia
mean,
Khalifa
J Lo's
right up there?
50.
J Lo is 50. Shakira
lights.
is 50.
I thought I turned them on. My bad. I thought I hit.
And they both can have it.
Jennifer Aniston, she's in
good
50s
looking.
and 60s.
She's good looking.
Yeah.
They're getting to the point where I wouldn't smash them. Like
Just to
looks-wise-
smash?
Looks wise,
Get out of here, bro.
they don't look attractive.
No,
They're starting to
come
look
on.
like old white women.
Jay's like, if it makes me go up, we smash.
No, because if it's a smash, no, she doesn't need
Boom,
to
lights.
look
Let there
fit.
be
Number
light.
one, she needs to look fit, and needs to look semi-young for me to be even attracted. But the minute I see the wrinkles around the neck and wrinkles on the arms or like the pigmentation on the
This
arms,
is what I'm saying. Those
that,
girls
that,
are
that would
already.
already like
Those
start
girls
turning me
on
off
those
slowly.
girls you guys just said, they're already starting to kind of like show that in movies. And imagine the amount of makeup and like shit they put them through on those films, right? Like to even slightly look a little younger, right? So like, imagine what they really look like on the day-to-day basis.
Well, here's the bottom line. Like, if you have an abundance of younger women that are around you, you wouldn't even get to that point to smash an older one. Like, you wouldn't even go that route. Like, why would you even go that route? Like,
Bro, it's just
it
a
has to be-
theoretical question, man. We're not. This is
No, I know what you-
unrealistic as fuck. Regardless.
Yeah. So
Alex is not smashing 80-year-old women. Like this is very unrealistic. Regardless, the question goes even to deeper, right? Because I think this applies for me being more like for me and Miguel, right? Like, what would be the build up in money to like go older and older, right? Like for me, say I said like 41, 42, like. The question would be like, how much would they have to pay me to fuck a woman that's 45 or maybe 50,
Well,
65?
that's
like,
what I'm trying to
how,
say.
Like, what would be the build up in money?
That's what I'm trying to say is how thirsty you are. If you're thirsty, she ain't paying you shit.
no,
You're still
fuck that. I'm
smashing.
saying you're gonna do it, like, but they're paying you maybe for do it because they're the old person that's trying to get some.
They're paying.
Like for example, that's what I mean. Like, so I wouldn't go above 41, right? And then someone at 46
But see,
was like, I want to pay. For it.
it's hard for me to look at it that way because, like, as far as the money goes, like, I'm not, like, the money's not important for me. Like, for a girl, like, what kind of
No,
money?
it's just a one-time thing anyway. So you smash.
For
and
me,
get-
would be like, okay, in Martha Stewart's situation, let's take Martha Stewart's
There you go,
situation, right?
right?
All right,
That's
cool.
too
So
old
let's
for
take
you.
Martha Stewart's
How much I
situation.
gotta pay you to just
No,
one night? Bam, bam.
like, if she was like, dude, like, it's only you, like, only you can satisfy me, like, it has to be you, right? And at that point, I would say,
You're
all
asking
right,
too many
fine,
questions.
I'll smash you, but I need those connections. Like you have to introduce me to people. It wouldn't be money.
Why
It
does
would be
Jay,
like you
Jay,
introducing
it's
me
such
to
a
people.
simple question. He just asked for an age, and you kind of
But it's-
sidetracked around it.
It's not. It's a simple question with a
Jay,
very
I
long
feel like
answer.
Jay's the type of guy that watches porn, but just for the plot. He doesn't even
No,
jerk
you
his
could have
dick.
just said like 50 grand to fuck Martha Stewart, bro. Like
No,
Yeah,
I
that's all you
wouldn't
have to
take
say.
50 grand to. Like, I mean, if
50,
Mar-
if they
I
told
would.
you
What the fuck?
$50,000, you wouldn't fuck Martha Stewart?
yeah, but like, see, like, I think
You
50
would?
Wait, stop. I think $50,000. That's a lot. Like, she doesn't even need to offer me $50,000 to smash her. It could be 1,000. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, you are different.
So he said I wouldn't smash Martha Stewart. Give him $1,000, I'll smash Martha Stewart. That's how you feel?
Think about it for a second. You're going.
He said it
to
was
think about
ugly and a wormhole. Now it's 1,000 and a wormhole. I'm in. I'm in.
No, because think about it. Like, she's not ugly. She's just old. If you look at it, Martha Stewart is not really ugly. Now, if this was an ugly bitch, I don't know. Like, that would need to be a significant amount of money for me to say, yeah, I'll do it.
What's that?
Because it has to, like, be
she's-
worth it for me.
What's
You know
that
what I mean?
older black woman's name?
Now, if we're talking about what's her name?
What about
Oprah?
what about
Oprah.
the one Oprah?
no.
Yeah, if we're talking about Oprah,
the one with
bro,
the dreads? I think now. I think she has dreads.
Oh,
Whoopi Goldberg,
Whoopi
right?
Goldberg.
Oh no,
Whoopi.
hell no.
How much to fuck Whoopi?
10K.
10K? That's a higher standard than Martha.
Yeah. Cause you know, like, she's in the spotlight. She's always like out there in the show. She can't be smelling like shit. She knows she kind of takes care of herself. At this point, this is a habit, so she's gonna be clean, right? Like, that's the whole thing. Now, Oprah is right up there with Whoopi. She would be like a 10 to 20 grand area right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So Miggy,
Just $1,000. That's crazy. Dude.
I know, right? He
And
said
this
that
has
on
to
the
do
show.
with
cheaper,
them.
You're cheaper than
Now
a
this
Vegas
has to do
stripper.
with them being like bigger. Like if you take what's his name, Will Smith's wife, smash it for I don't know $1,000.
Yeah, but she's not that old.
She's up there. She's up there.
She's probably like 56.
I don't know. You couldn't pull
58.
Yeah,
her.
like 56, 65. What's the
Yeah,
fucking
those
difference
guys are
at that
those
point?
girls are like in their late 60s, early 70s, bro.
Jay, but that's not a fun. That's not a fun time. You can't even
So
pull her hair,
Miggy, what's your
You use a
like-
plunger.
So Miggy, you
yeah.
said Miggy, you said 38, right? 38.
Yeah, 37, 38.
38 was your max.
That's
So
my
if
cutoff.
you
What?
if you for a girl that's like 45 and not really good looking.
45 and not really good.
Yeah,
looking.
not good looking. How much?
5 shots of tequila.
That's it? No money?
Damn,
money?
no money.
No, at 45, she's still
no,
got a little
it-
He
bit.
said 5
man.
shots of tequila in the dark room.
But you
Here
said
we
she,
go.
but you said she's good looking.
No, I said not so good.
Oh,
looking.
not so good. Nah.
Now, see, here's the thing. When
Yeah,
they're-
because if she's good looking at 45, right? She's one of those like starting to get into one of those anomalies, right? We'd all fuck her, but that's different. that's
true,
different.
that's true,
Average
that's true.
45-year-olds, starting to not so good looking anymore.
Well, yes,
I
average
would
45-year-old,
say-
yes,
I would
yes.
say,
Like,
like,
if they're
500 bucks, I'll
bigger,
do it.
like
500?
Yeah, 500 bucks.
Okay, damn. So that's not much of an upset. How about now? 50?
I mean, we could all say that average at any age is not so good looking.
Yeah, right. But
No,
then
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
trying
no.
to
I
say is
think
on
most
average,
people
it
are
gets even
average,
harder.
but
it gets,
yeah.
it gets even harder as ages go
no,
up, right?
I think you can clearly say that most of us have dated and smashed a majority of the time average women.
Well, because we're all
Average.
on
All
average,
average men.
right? That's how it
Well,
works.
no, because we're average with a different
In the
scale.
scale of things,
In the
yes,
scale
we
of
are
things-
super average.
Well, no, I think on a
So-
scale of things, I'm super average. Y'all
Now-
guys need to fucking make it up there.
Now, Miggy, I want you to think of average 55-year-old woman. How much are we talking?
Average 55-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Now, this average 55-year-old woman is going to be overweight, number one, and she's probably going to be a Karen. That's average.
So these
I
are
just
just
want
one
you-
time. If these are just one-time things, I'll do it for $500.
You still have $500. You have no upstep. I want you to think about that. The amount of wrinkles from 45 to 55 jump up a lot on average. So you're gonna,
Bro,
you know,
$500 is 500.
and like he said, you're getting you're on average more likely to get a Karen.
Yeah. I see. This is what would happen. I probably would do it. I probably would not finish though.
Just
Like I would not be able to get in the
go
mood to
and
finish.
and call it at like a decent time and be like, that's it.
Like it would be just like keep going at it. I would get halfway bored because I'm like not attracted to her at all.
He's trying to speed run through that.
Yeah, I would be a straight up hooker at that point. Like you know how most hookers are.
And that's one of those things you gotta pop the pill before you walk in.
Basically, what
No,
we're,
pop the pill. No, I think like you get it up no matter what. But I think halfway through you're just gonna get disgusted and be like, all right, this is not working.
Halfway. I'm disgusted climbing into that bed.
Well, see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this is all relative. So if you have a dry season, bro, you smashing. But if you don't have a dry season, if you have somebody around you,
I don't
then
think
it's like then you're pickier.
I think it's like I said, it depends on what your cutoff is, right? Because if it's dry season, but it's a average looking 45-year-old, me and Miguel are not touching that. Even
Bruh,
if it's dry
if it's
season.
dry season, you
Nah.
and Miguel are touching it. If your friends, nobody knows, it's just you, bro. You're smashing. Don't even go there, bro.
Unless she's like hot, looks like a 32-year-old or 28-year-old hot. No,
bro, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute. I think
Bro,
y'all capping
an
out here.
ugly 45, 55-year-old? Nah. I'm walking home that day. I'll take Manuela any day over that.
Emanuela.
No, Manuela, yeah, Manuela.
Manuela, no Manolo.
Manuela, yeah.
But I mean, then we can really break it down that it doesn't really matter about the age because if they were hot, you'd still smash.
Exactly.
It is. But
So
I just tried to break it.
that's
you
my
know,
point. My
'cause
point
if you,
is-
if you think about it like that, right? Anything that's attractive, you'll smash, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
Right.
on average, right? Because if, like he's saying, if it is dry season, Miguel would smash
how
an
old-
average 32-year-old.
how old is,
there you go. Like that's something I'd say okay, but like he's not gonna smash the average 55-year-old
Yes,
on
he
dry
is.
season.
What up,
no, he's
partner?
not.
Yes,
How
he
old
is.
is Scarlett Johansson?
I don't know, bro. Maybe like 34.
But Scarlett Johansson is
36.
not your average.
Yeah, and she's not your average 34, 36-year-old.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is, I think, above average. She's above average. She's attractive enough to be in the movies.
Well, she's 38 now.
So,
So yeah, that's my cutoff range right there.
Oh my
what
God.
Scarlett Johansson 38 is your cutoff range?
Yeah, no. When Scarlett
So
Johansson.
you're telling me you would not smash Shakira or J Lo?
I don't like Shakira. J-Lo's too skinny.
J Lo is too skinny.
J-Lo looks like a frail mummy.
And you don't like Shakira?
Bro,
Yeah,
get
no.
out of here, bro. Like,
Bro, J-Lo looks like a frail
you're
mummy.
capping, bro. Are you sure you're not gay? It's okay if you are.
You can let us know.
Yeah, just it's okay. Sale la
See,
closet.
I'm not the biggest on Jennifer Lopez, but I think Shakira's good looking still. For
Yeah,
her
you
age.
still
But
smash.
she's a fucking genetic anomaly, right? Like,
Well, she's in.
not
A,
even necessarily genetic anomaly, but
So-
money anomaly, right? So,
so let me put it in a perspective. What's that girl's name that was really good at singing? She got discovered and she was chubbier.
Adele?
Adele. No one wanted to smash her. Now she lost weight. Everyone
I
want to
still
smash
don't
her.
want to smash her. She doesn't look good, bro.
Adele.
She has a great voice. I'll give her that.
Adele doesn't look good.
No.
But-
I
bro,
don't
but do you
find her
understand-
attractive. Do you find Rihanna attractive?
Rihanna?
Who?
Do you find Rihanna attractive?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
She has a fucking dome.
What?
I don't
She has a
find
dome.
I
That
do
girl's
not-
so small.
I do not
Look,
find
she has
Rihanna
a 5 head. I get it, but she's still
attractive.
attractive.
No,
You
she
can't
has an
take it
8
away
head.
from
Multiply
her.
that by 2.
Huh?
Multiply that by 2.
I always said
okay,
ASAP Rocky.
I see the connection because Adele also has a dome on her too. So maybe just don't like a
I just
forehead.
don't like domes. You know?
Well, that's
Domes.
bro. But see that doesn't disqualify the age because you
Bro,
don't like Adele.
I don't like girls
you know
that
what I'm
look like
saying?
Goonies.
That's not the point. You're going off like
can
that
do these
specific person. What I'm trying to say, it all depends how she looks like because you kind of have to look at it. So there's this really good book, right? Like I just started reading it. It's called Very Important People or something like that. Very Important People, right? And it's talking about this 31-year-old writer that goes to Miami during the time right before the 2008 crisis, and she's participating in this life of rich and famous, like going to these exclusive clubs. She's 31, but she kind of looks young, and she's tall enough and skinny enough, where the promoters are pretty much like inviting her to these nightclubs and these restaurants where she doesn't have to pay anything. And this book goes into the whole idea of how these things are measured in a world, right? Like when you get to those upper echelons of like people that it's an exclusive restaurant, you can't get inside there unless you know somebody that knows somebody. You're gonna drop a whole lot of money when you get there, right? And you're gonna be paying for a bunch of people. Like they're super picky. Like if the girl is below 5'7" or 5'6", they're like, all right, you're a hobbit. We're not letting you in. If she's overweight, we're not letting you in. Like wear stilettos. If you wear flip-flops, they straight up tell her, hey, this is not a club where you wear flip-flops. Put stilettos on. Like wear a dress. Like they're not letting you in. So basically what I'm trying to say, it's always been like that. The rich and famous men attracted super young, beautiful women. And you cannot change that.
What were they saying about DiCaprio? Like, if you're like if you're at the point where you already have like graduated, like getting your PhD or like doctorate, saying like that's too old already.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
Leo.
for DiCaprio, yeah, which perfectly portrays exactly what this book is talking about. Like these exclusive clubs in Miami, because the clubs there, it's not all about like, it's all about who's going in there. If you have hot girls there, because if you have hot girls, like a bunch of rich people are gonna come in and spend money and things like that just to be around these hot girls. And these promoters literally get paid by bringing these women in, right? Like their tables are always comped, everything is comped, and they actually make about 25% of the total bill that gets spent on a table because they brought in these hot women,
Yeah.
right? And these are guys that are dropping like 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 150, $200,000 per night. And they don't accept anything but pretty women. But the point here is like Scarlett Johansson, anybody that's in that sphere, they're talented. You can't take that away from them. But the whole idea is that they're also attractive. They're not just talented, they're also attractive. If they were just talented, they would not have as much success as just being super attractive and talented. That's my point. You know what I mean? So all those people that are in the spotlight that you're naming, they don't qualify. Like, That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
it's
saying.
all subjective too, because like I know I'm gonna get some flack for this, but like Margot Robbie, right?
Yeah.
I don't think she's as attractive as everyone else says she is. Like, don't get me wrong, I can see how she's attractive, but not as like a goddess like everyone's acting like she is.
Yes, I think there's some sort of uniqueness to her. I think the whole attractiveness came after she probably did the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, and then she did the
The
Harley
wolf.
Quinn. You know what I mean? That's where the
Yeah.
attractiveness came to her because she's like got that spiciness. But what makes her attractive? You kind of have to look at it. She's fit. She's tall. She got a pretty symmetrical face. We're genetically predisposed to pick that.
I saw an interview that she was doing for like this new Barbie movie that she's got coming out, and she looks really, 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 really skinny.
Well, she is skinny. She's always been skinny.
She didn't look that skinny before, like when she did the gambling movie with Will Smith and Harley Quinn and all that stuff. She didn't look as skinny as she did in that interview. Like I mean, like
Skinny,
bottle.
like a rail.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I get it. Like the point is, I think
Not sure if that was done on purpose for the Barbie movie. Maybe.
I think what are you going off of? Like, I can get this that, like the reason is like, well, I don't really want to smash because this is your lizard brain kicking in and saying, what are the chances? Because what's the idea of smashing? It's to reprocreate, right? Like, that's the whole idea. So your lizard brain is telling you, well, they're not, because we back in the day, like the success for a progeny, we based it on how attractive they look. The more attractive they are, the bigger chance that they're going to be able to carry the child to term. This is why you're like, oh, she's old. Because like your lizard brain is telling you, if you smash, it's not going to be able to carry it to full term. But that's where the point comes in. If it's dry season, you're going to smash because chimpanzees are known to do this. And they're the closest primates to human beings. They've done the experiment. Chimpanzees are the only ones that will participate in
it would
in
have to
heterosexual sex and then also go up and down in age.
I feel like it would have to come to like an extreme dry season where it's like there's no other choice kind of thing.
Or just have a super high testosterone drive and have a dry season. If your testosterone drive is low, then even in dry season, you're like, I don't feel like it, right? But if your testosterone level is high, if you're on the upper limits, bro, you're smashing.
No, I don't think so. I think if you have
bro,
certain standards,
you cannot go against
If
testosterone.
you have standards, you're buying a pocket pussy before you smash.
Nah,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm
You
not
get it
buying a
out.
pocket pussy. I'm not. Sorry. I'd much rather smash than get a pocket pussy. Sorry.
Oh no, we agree. We'd much rather smash, but we'd rather smash something else.
But
Well, no,
some things are better than your hand.
No, obviously you much rather smash something else. But let's say you're put on a deserted island. Like this is a better scenario. You're
that's
put
the
on a
extreme I was getting at.
yeah,
right?
deserted island. There you don't have any young females at all. There's no chance in hell that you're ever gonna see young and pretty females. All you have is middle-aged women at 55 years old. Between 55 and 65. That's all you have. What are you doing?
That's the extreme I was talking about. If there's nothing else, okay, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right? You're not gonna just
Hopefully,
die.
we brought Lou.
Yeah.
You said you're just not gonna die. What the fuck are you gonna do? You're not gonna fucking procreate.
I mean,
Well, it doesn't matter, but you're still gonna want to smash. Like you have
not
no
only
access to
that,
internet.
not only that, you'll probably go if they're like on a
I'm
more
dying.
women
I'm dying
than men.
with dignity. I'm dying with standards.
You're gonna
bro.
go for multiple
mean-
times
You're
and
not.
chances.
I guarantee
I'm
you.
dying with standards.
You're
Do we
not,
have
bro.
supplies, drinkable water? Because that all might. Because like no one wants to smash when we're all starving and dehydrated.
That's true.
No, you have all that. You have all that. The only thing you don't have is maybe internet access and access to
A pocket pussy.
average to pretty women.
No pocket pussies on the island, Miggy.
There's no. Yeah, now you're smashing, bro. I'm telling you, you're smashing. There's no
Even
way.
if there was, you'd have to wash it with salt water, and that would just hurt after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're smashing.
I still have
if
my
there's
hands.
There
nothing,
might be a whole lot of spitting
If
and lube,
there's-
but you
I got
smashing, bro.
standards.
Miguel, you're on
You're
a
smashing,
deserted
bro.
island, and there's nothing else there except for you, 4 other dudes, and 40 girls that are all 50 to 60 years old. You're smashing.
At least,
Manuela y Manolita. Fuck that shit, my nigga.
at the very least, you're getting
Yeah,
head, bro. At the very
At the
least, you're
very
getting
least, you're
head, bro.
getting
Like,
head.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Take your
Let her
dentures.
pop her dentures
Take
out
your
on you.
dentures out, Sally. Come here.
Bro, Mika, you're capping right now. Don't cap. Be honest, bro. Like, this
Yeah, you
whole
smash.
I have standards, bro, bullshit. That's nonsense. You're smashing, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, there's not even alcohol on the island. That's crazy. Nah.
You're smashing. I'm sorry, but you are smashing.
Sadly.
And if you're not smashing, I'm taking your man card away. I'm sorry.
Where are you gay?
But yeah, like I think
What if
it's
they
all
all
relative.
looked like your grandma? That would be worse.
If they all look like my grandma, yeah, that's tough.
I'm drowning
Right?
myself.
Then are you smashing?
Nah, I just drowned myself on the island.
Yeah, then you just pull in an Epstein.
Yeah, no, if they all look like a family member, then you kind of just like, damn. All right, boys, take care of this. Here.
So they've done actually.
And we back, baby. Short interruption, but we back.
Okay.
All right, sorry guys, we're short interruption. OBS crashed, so we're back though. All right, so where were we on this?
I don't know. We're still talking about fucking old women on deserted islands. My question went far. See, now we did. Back to my original question. What's your average cutoff? You know, Alex. What do you say? Like, this women around this age is probably where I'd say like that's no longer attractive to me, right?
On average, I say 60. If we're taking average, 60.
60?
60.
So on average, you still think you find enough 55-year-old women that are
100%.
attractive?
100%.
Okay,
Man,
what do
I
you?
guess this is gonna happen to
Yeah,
us.
I
all
guess-
at a
I'd have to.
certain point.
Yeah, I was about to say it might just be age because I'd be say around 60.
Really?
Yeah.
Around 6? Hey, yo, y'all are weird. Y'all are
I mean,
weird.
Nah, see,
Yeah.
here's the
Just
thing.
saying.
Here's the thing
Well,
you
If
forget.
he
Jay-
stands up,
Jay, I understand. You know, he's a little older than us, right?
No.
But-
Here's the
But
thing.
you're still only 28.
That has nothing to do with me being older. Remember, I used to work as a valet in a very good restaurants in a local area, and I also waited tables. So I've seen the amount of attractive 60 and below women that do come in. You know what I mean?
You know
So
what's
there are
crazy?
still plenty
you
of
wanna hear a
those.
crazy story about old ladies? All right, so I used to work at a restaurant, right? And there's this one time where I got tipped, and this lady stuck. I think it was like 10, 15 bucks, something like that, or 20 bucks, whatever. And she just slid it down my, I forgot what it's called, the little thing that you wear. in front.
Apron?
Yeah, the apron. And she kind of like went deep and just started a little rub and tug. And then just stuck her hand out. And I was like, thank you. All I said was thank
Should
you.
we shake hands there?
see, what they're not thinking about is menopause, right? What happens after menopause? Women want to
kids.
fuck all the time,
Oh, really?
and there's no
I
consequences.
didn't know this.
So yeah, so that's when you get to learn the new techniques and stuff and practice your shit out for the
Alex, sounds
younger
like you
ones.
have first-hand
No,
experience.
I don't
with
care
this.
about practicing or any
Allegedly.
Of that stuff. I'm just saying, like,
Allegedly?
my cutoff would be the 60. You know, because after 60, I would like average to okay, like after 60, I
Now-
think your chances are dwindling
now-
like, at a fast pace.
Alex, what is the amount they're going to have to put in your pocket if the 67, 68-year-old, wants to get in bed?
That's unattractive.
Yeah, right? Because
To me.
average at that point would be unattractive, right? Because you're past your
I think-
average attractive threshold, right?
500
At
bucks.
60,
with
you
Miggy.
said?
I'm right there with Miggy. 500 bucks.
500 bucks.
Might be. I might say 1,000 just because of current market. You know.
Sure, 1,000.
He doesn't go by a straight
Oh,
price. He
shit.
goes
Bro,
by
you telling me
market
you would not
price.
take a 500?
500 ain't what it used to be. You know.
Yeah, but it's
Inflation.
still like 30 minutes of work. Like, I think you guys are thinking like
Shit.
too long here. Like, I think you're thinking about
Shit.
Well,
like,
no, it's not
I
like
got
I'm gonna
30
pipe down
minutes.
this woman for multiple rounds. No, like you do
But
what you
I'm-
do, like on the average,
But
right?
I'm gonna give her her money's worth, Jay.
yeah, her money's worth is, yeah, listen, her money's worth is 15 minutes. That's all you're getting. That's your money's worth. That's all I can handle of you being the way
And
you
then-
are.
Hey,
And then-
what if after
Now
you're done,
she's 75 years old. How much?
what if after you're done she just slides you a
Average
tip?
unattractive 75-year-old.
I think average unattractive 75-year-old is worried about walking straight and not falling, busting her head open, let alone thinking about
Hey,
smashing.
not
you know what I
always,
mean?
not always, not always.
I'd be worried I'd kill her.
Yeah.
No, you said 80, man. You said 80, you'll be worried.
Nah, 80, I'm not.
I mean, 75 is 5 years off, from 80. Shit.
Nah, I'm not
I've
doing shit.
heard allegedly of people at that age still doing what they do. So
Well, there's
Oh
a
no,
whole
old folks home
village
are
of
all just sex dungeons, like literally.
yeah, bro. Like the largest amount of like sexually transmitted diseases in elderly.
really,
Yeah, because they're
Because
they
smashing
just
each
fuck.
other, bro. You
They
never
don't
heard of
give
the
a
loofah
fuck.
thing? I don't know exactly what this is, but apparently there's an
sounds
area
like a
in
swinger shit
Florida.
with the pineapple.
There's an area in Florida. They hang like different color loofahs on their cars, and each color means something. That they're open to this or that. Yeah, bro.
I'm down to
There's like
stick
this
a
loofah
dildo
city in
Miguel
Florida.
said, "Hey, where we going for my birthday?"
No.
He's like, what
nah.
color we looking for?
Nah, I'm vanilla when it comes to that shit.
So what? You know the rules already?
No.
Here's
I
my
don't.
thing, Mickey.
Florida loofah code. Hey, yo, what is this shit?
Read it. Read it.
All right, so loofah code is when visiting the villages. The
Oh, there we go.
Florida-
Villages.
Florida's friendliest hometown.
Sounds a little bit too friendly.
White is for novice and beginners. Purple is for people who like to watch, or
Cuckold?
voyeur and
Voyeur.
and people who like to watch, right? Then pink is soft swap. What? People who like to do it with others in the
Soft
room.
swap is yeah.
Then blue, the lowest level of full swap, those who play well with others. Yellow, mid-level swap, for those who want to have fun but are still nervous. Black, full swap, those who want to go to hell and all let it go down. Then teal, bisexual, for those who want to increase their dating chances. These are the loofahs. Okay, so if you find yourself in the villages and you no doubt see loofahs attached to cars, this is a friendly guide so you don't make the same mistake I did. Hey, yo.
So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like the largest population of
So, what the fuck? What if you guys had to choose a loofah? What's your loofah?
what's my loofah? Like, well, I mean, you said like there's couple that there's like voyeur and like swap.
What's voyeur?
So voyeur is like watching.
Okay, but they just say it in a bunch of different ways, right? Like
Yeah.
the same
Watching
thing.
and peeping. That's basically what voyeur is.
So this is the loofah system is all about people who like to basically expand their relationship, either that they don't have one and they're looking for one, or basically they have a relationship already and are looking to include more people in it, whether it's watching, participating.
But if you look, half of the list is swapping, right?
Yeah, no, the whole list is about, the whole thing is about.
I wouldn't be able to
I
like it
just
wouldn't be
fucking-
it. Like I wouldn't be swapping shit.
Yeah, I know.
Like you want me to smash
This
your wife, no
reminds
problem.
me,
But I
you
ain't
know-
swapping shit.
This reminds me of the whole thing that's going on right now with
Adam 21, yeah,
Adam
22 or 23.
Hey, you might find a nice purple person that wants to watch you smash his wife, Like,
That's a different story, I guess.
See, but
yeah.
you're not one of those colors. You're looking for one of those colors, right? Like you'd be looking for a purple or whatever it is, right? That wants their wife to get smashed and them to watch. But I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do that. How much would you have to get paid?
yo,
For there
just
just to
sitting
be someone
someone
in the
sitting
room?
in the corner, just
Yeah.
like
Maybe
watching
maybe
it the whole
camera.
time.
Maybe camera.
I mean, when it's like a production level shit, sure, like that's one thing.
Yeah. But the
But just a
actual person,
dude
yeah.
or a chick sitting in the corner, like just
Wait,
staring
wait,
at
wait
you,
a minute.
getting
Chick-
down.
A chick I'd be fine with. I don't know why.
A chick
I
basically
mean-
a lesbian couple? Is that what you're saying? You're not smashing
Oh.
a dude, are you?
Yeah, exactly. So no, of course not, right? You're smashing a girl here, but we're talking about someone being in the room. See, if it's like a lesbian couple and for some reason they have a kink where the girl likes to watch her her wife get the doonies beat down, I mean I don't know. I guess maybe how she acted about it would make
That would be the thing,
But now
right?
if it's a
If she's
dude-
just sitting there like get it, boy, yeah, get up in there, yeah, slaps you on the ass and just like you doing well.
So yeah, see, it depends on how this girl's acting. But if it's a dude, then no.
So here's an unpopular opinion I have. You know all that purple color bullshit? I think majority of those cases are because the girl wants to like step away, like she's not happy within the relationship, so she wants to have different partners, and the guy has no choice, so he's allowing. I'm not saying that those people don't exist, but what I'm saying is that they exist, but it's a very small percentage. I think majority of the time it's
from what I've heard, it seems like there's a lot of people out there that like to watch their wives get fucked.
it can be.
Bro, from what I've heard, like, you know, we're already talking about a kink that is a very small percentage
Right.
of people, right? But I'm saying within these people, I feel like a large percentage of them are probably people who actually enjoy this kink. I think that the women are probably actually being forced into being fucked, and they probably don't want to be fucked by other men. Bro, there's
I don't
weird
know.
dudes.
I don't know.
I would see it. I feel like it would be more like that.
I
think
mean,
it's
I
the
feel like the
opposite way.
forced part would be a little more of an extreme
Yes.
of people.
Right, right. But
Like,
I'm saying, like, I'd look
like
at it more
it's
that way.
you're all right. Statistically, it is men coming to their wives like, "Hey, I want to watch
There-
you
there you
get
go.
fucked by someone."
There you go. The
Like,
majority of those people actually do want
Right.
to watch their wives get fucked.
Because here's the thing.
Jay said, "Hey, yo, these guys are crazy."
because if the woman wanted just to get something else right out of it, the man wouldn't be involved, right? Because when these relationships get open, she would just go fuck somewhere else, right? But he wants to be involved and see it, so it usually comes from him.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. But here's the situation. A lot of times, the woman might be in a situation where he's the breadwinner, he's bringing a bunch of money in, and she doesn't want to lose all that, but she's not happy within the relationship. She's like, hey, listen, we should be in an open relationship, and this is where the guy has no choice, but says, okay, fine, let's just be in an open relationship.
I mean, he has a choice. He has a whole choice. It's
No,
nothing
I
but a
don't think-
choice.
I don't think guys have that much of a choice. They don't. They
Yeah,
really don't.
you do. You could be like, "Oh, well, that ain't for me," and if that ain't how we want to go,
Yeah.
then
But see, the thing is, I don't think, on a whole scheme of things, guys don't have that much of a choice.
Wait, what are we talking about here? Choice of what?
Choice
my
of, like-
cable was stuck.
Choice of saying, fuck this, I'm leaving, right? The guys don't have that much of a choice. And I think in a lot of cases, women have the better choice because as a guy, it's completely different to try to attract someone, let alone smash, right?
I feel like men use the fear of losing consistent pussy
That's it. That's
to
it.
feel like that they have no
Correct.
option to
That-
leave.
that's
But
what it
like
is,
that's
yeah.
a very sad reason to stay in a relationship.
It is, but remember, most men are just like Miggy, where he's like disqualifying all these women instead of getting a little bit of
I thought
experience
men- but I thought
under his
men-
belt, where he can
But I
realize
thought
that they
men didn't
ain't shit. It's
disqualify
not hard.
women. I thought men didn't disqualify women.
Men on average do not disqualify women. On average, majority of men don't. But if you have an abundance of women, you don't give a fuck. She steps out of the pocket, you changing your ass. Like that's what happens. Unless you care about her, then like, hey, you're fucking up. These are my boundaries. Kind of like what what's his name did. Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like what he did.
Yeah, but he started crying like a little bitch after
Well,
a little
no,
minute.
well, Jonah Hill is a big feminist. Like he's all about like he even made that movie and everything.
It doesn't mean shit.
What do you mean it doesn't mean shit? The guy,
You could be publicly a feminist and still not understand how you're doing abusive things.
yeah, but I don't think he was doing abusive things. I think she's a narcissist. Like
No,
the girl
I
he was
think
dating is a narcissist.
I think he's a narcissist and
Bullshit.
can't realize.
I do not agree with that at all.
Well, let's look at the petty reasons why. I don't like that you post bikini
Pictures.
pics online.
Correct.
What's wrong with that?
That's having a for sale sign on your head on your neck.
Why?
Because men since we started putting clothes on, right? Since we started putting clothes on, this was left up to imagination. The minute we put a bikini on, it brings up the shape of the woman's body.
But she's a surfer, so she's like always in a bikini. Should she wear like a full bodysuit when
I-
she goes out to surf?
I get that. I get
Should she
that.
wear a
See,
burqa
wait,
as
wait.
well?
No,
Ready?
Should
I
she
I
cover her hair?
I
think
get
we
that. Now,
already
I'm not saying that
discussed this last time. We got to the fact that he
he fucked up by
should've-
giving her a relationship to begin with. He
He
fucked
He
up.
should have said this.
right.
First,
This was
yes.
this was his fault
Yes.
for getting in a relationship
Nobody's
with someone he
taking that
knew
away.
what they were already in and involved in. You know what I mean? And then for him to get mad that she's posting it when what is she doing? Surfing for competition, gonna get taken pictures of regardless. If he's freaking famous, if they go to the beach together, they're gonna take pictures of her then regardless and go out in public. Like, this is where we already got to a consensus on this, boys. Like, we talked about this. This is his fault.
It was his fault to give her a relationship because she's not that good looking. He
That
could
the whole
get a
thing
better
happened, right?
bitch.
Yeah.
The thing is that he's not secure enough to get a better bitch.
Exactly. It's all his insecurities. That was the issue.
No, it's not his insecurity. Stop.
It is.
This is
It's
no.
100% his
Okay.
insecurities because he is scared that people are looking at her and that he views that as advertisement like you think, so I'm going to lose it. I'm insecure that I'm going to lose it. That's an insecurity. Done.
No, it's not. And I'll give you the reason why it's not an insecurity. Now, who's more insecure? Someone that doesn't say shit about it, even though they don't like it, or someone that says, hey, listen, these are my boundaries, and if you don't like it, we'll break up, which what he did.
There's a difference, right? Because if he would have set that boundary in the beginning, right?
And
That
I
would have
agree-
been like, hey, I'm insecure about this. I understand this about me, so this is a
see,
boundary, right?
No. See, here's where you're entering that insecurity part. I do not agree with that. It has nothing to do with insecurity.
Well, I'm sorry you're wrong and you don't understand psychology.
I think you don't understand it. I think he's
you're
very
funny.
secure by saying, I think he's very secure by saying, I don't want this.
You
my
guys
life.
you're looking at two different parts of the scenario. You're saying he's secure with himself to set these boundaries.
Correct, and say,
right?
I don't mind
But listen,
dropping you.
But listen, this boundary he's setting, the reason he's setting this boundary is due to his insecurity. That specific boundary, the
it's
reason
not.
it's there.
No,
Yes,
it's
yes.
not. It's
He is
due to-
insecure about this, so he sets a boundary saying, I am insecure about
No,
this, so I
no.
don't like you do this.
It's because he's setting.
How is it not?
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because men are territorial. This is what men are. That is not an insecurity. Men are territorial, and this is due to evolution, because the scarcity of vag made men territorial throughout evolution. It has nothing to do with insecurities. It has to do with men being territorial. Sorry, but that's the truth.
Men are
It's not
territorial.
because there are men that have overcome this through emotional work.
Through emotion,
Yes, we are
men have-
territorial because we have been put through this because that's how we evolved. Yes, I agree. But we also evolved sociologically too.
Yeah, but you
So,
cannot
you know-
change. You cannot change 1,000 or 2,000 years of,
You
or even
can.
50 to 100.
That is the
you can.
whole reason of evolution is constant
Let me ask you
change.
something, Jay.
I agree,
Literally.
but not in 100 years,
Let me
over
ask you-
100 thousands of
let me
years
ask you
evolution.
something-
You
let me
cannot
ask-
change it
Let me
overnight.
ask you something, Jay.
It's genetic. You cannot change that
So
overnight.
You're saying he's not because of insecurity, but
Yes.
at the same time, would you let your girl go to the beach with her friends?
Depends who her friends are.
You just her and her friends that are
I-
normal people,
so-
but they're
so-
going out and they're going to be on the beach in
so-
bikinis,
So
getting tans.
that's fine. Here's the question: who are her
So-
friends? Are
No,
they
no,
going to be
it doesn't-
drinking?
that
Are they
doesn't
going to
matter.
be
That's not
fuck
part
shit?
of-
Are they going to be
That's
doing?
not part of the. That's not part of
Well-
the. That's not
well,
part
this
of
is
the
the
situation.
question-
They're going to the beach to do normal shit.
So this is the question I'm asking: is whatever she's going to participate conducive for a relationship?
Everything she has to do has to be conducive for the relationship.
Correct.
Why
So-
can't she just go have fun
What?
with her friends?
Why can't she just go out to the beach to chill with her friends? That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean? Why she can go out to the beach and chill with her
You're saying it
friends?
has to be conducive.
So if her friends are egging her constantly, take this shot, go
That's
hang
not
out
what
with
I'm
that guy.
saying.
Do
Well,
this.
Yeah,
why are
no,
you
that's
pulling
not
this out of
that
your
you.
ass?
I,
This-
you
this
got to
is-
bring in your circumstances and stipulations
that's
to
what
make
I
it sound
said.
bad.
Is it
Just let's
conducive-
take it base. No, can she go
Stop
have fun with her
bringing
friends
this-
at the beach?
It depends what she's doing at the beach.
just
That's my
chilling,
point.
bro. Just chilling, sitting there getting a tan.
Why does it matter?
I
She
know,
wants to
right?
go to the beach.
There's so much you're
No,
adding
I
on
just
that
don't
doesn't need
get
to be
it. I
added
don't
on.
get that. Like, what do you don't
Alright,
have at the beach that you
alright,
don't
I
have
would-
here?
I'd
The beach?
just rather-
We just further on why
rather-
he's single. Okay.
I'd rather just
No,
move
no.
on.
See, this is
I'd
the
rather
thing. Like
just
this
move
whole
on.
shaming language. I don't like this because
It's
you
not
guys
shaming,
are just, that's,
bro.
That's what
It's
it
not
is. That's
shaming.
100%
You
shaming
love
language.
you love it when people tell you
Mm-hmm.
how it is, right? I am telling you how it is.
And
the
I'm
way
telling
you
you
act
you're wrong.
is the biggest red flag to women on why you are single.
Why I'm single?
I'm sorry.
Because I choose to be single. I choose not
Exactly.
to wife girls. And I have
Exactly.
plenty of girls.
You choose that. That's fine.
I have
but
plenty of girls that will never go on
what
the girls'
you put
trips,
out
that will
there
never go out on
is
their
the
own, dress a certain
reason
way
you're
just
not
to be
getting
with
it.
me. No, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear what I said. I have plenty of
You
girls.
started talking over me, sir.
No, you
I
don't.
hurt your feelings and you attacked.
It's not hurting feelings. All I'm just saying is that I disagree with
Oh,
what
you're
you're
right. Men
saying.
don't have feelings. You're right.
I disagree with what you're
100%.
saying, and this is the reason why I disagree with what you're saying. There are plenty of girls that will not do this fuck shit of going out on a girls' nights, going out on girls' trips, going on a beach just to advertise that they're single, putting sexual.
How is that advertising?
Stop. And I'm gonna tell you how is this advertising, and I've already broke it down.
Because of
how
your
it's-
own insecurity.
No, not because of that. Because number one, men are territorial. Number two, we have evolved not having this. We have to imagine this. So when you see it, when it's out in the open, this is going to invite unwanted male attention, which by default, even though she doesn't intend to advertise, that's what she's doing.
And that's not her problem.
That is 100%.
She just
her
wants to go
problem.
have fun. It's
That
the
is
problem of the
100%
men that
her
don't
problem.
understand that she's not advertising.
Men are not going to understand. Men are not going to understand. So it's up to her.
So when you go to the beach, you just hit on everything.
No, it's not that when you. So here's the thing.
You have the balls to go up, and every other man has the ball to go up to every woman that's hot or attractive
It has
and starts hitting on them
See,
just because
this
they're
is-
in a
this
bikini.
is why-
nothing
this
to
is
do
why I
with
brought
that.
out the
it has
beach.
nothing to do with
This
that.
is why I brought out the beach scenario, right? Because a public area, crowded. She's gonna be in a bikini, someplace where if Emily said, "I'm going to the beach tomorrow with Bailey to get a tan," I don't think about it twice because I don't look at that as anything wrong. The only time I have some kind of worry or some kind of like, are you really want to do that? Is if she were to be like, "I'm going to the club, just me and Bailey to Tampa, like." Just me and her. Then I would kind of be like, I don't know. That's like the only place because nightlife I'm a little skeptical on, right? That's one of the reasons I don't like going out because I have to watch over her.
Yeah,
right.
Nightlife.
And then
is...
another thing is I just look at it as what are the reasons? 100% the reason clubs were made, booze and sex, right? So that's another thing that kind of brings in my head where it's like, yeah, every guy there is what booze and sex, right? So that's another thing. The
So you're
beach isn't
telling me-
I
like
could agree. In a club setting, it is a
So you're
lot
telling me dudes
smaller
go out to the beach
population.
to go out to the beach and just to lay down there, not to go out to talk to the girls and pick up the girls? Come on, guys. Stop for a minute.
I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
you don't go to the beach?
No,
And
I
have
don't go
fun?
to the beach.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't-
really don't go to the beach.
See, this is the
It's
thing, right?
pointless for me to
Jay
go to
won't
the
even
beach.
go with us places because it's dry season there. So this is
Yeah,
this is the
like,
mentality
I wouldn't even
Jay
do
has, right? He can't just go chill with the boys, right?
No,
So-
I can. I chill with the boys all the time. Here's this podcast. I chill with the boys. I do jiu-jitsu
No,
with the
but
boys.
like-
I hang out with the boys.
For example, why? See, that's what we're trying to say. We would just
What
go to the
what
beach
equals
to go to
dry
the
season?
No, so-
Dry season equals.
You live in Florida. There's probably bitches on bikinis
No, I'm-
everywhere.
I'm, no,
No,
I'm
that's
saying
not
like
what I'm talking
vacations, like out to different, like if we go to,
Oh,
out,
okay,
of the
okay.
state somewhere, out of the country, or whatever.
So the point here, what I'm trying to say, you cannot be here the whole entire time. So I think it's her girl's responsibility to curve all the guys if she's with you. Now, to
100%.
do that-
I 100% agree with that.
It's her
And she can do
responsibility.
that in a bikini with her friends on the beach.
She can do that in a bikini with her friends. I agree with that. I'm not taking that away. She can do that. However, with her being in a bikini is going to attract unwanted attention on larger scale than her not being in a bikini.
Okay.
Okay.
So if that attracts a whole lot of unwanted attention, she's gonna have to curve a lot more,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
So he wants one of those 1920s bathing suits that goes from like
no, I don't
shoulders
want
to
the 1920s.
ankles.
Shoulders.
He's
No,
like,
no, I don't.
That's what you go out in.
Yeah.
Don't forget your
Put on a
burqa.
wetsuit, bitch.
No. You want to go to the beach? Let's go together. No problem with that. Put whatever the
So-
fuck you want when you're with me.
So you don't trust her to set that boundary without you there.
I trust her to set the boundary. What I don't trust is other men. This is the issue.
Listen,
Okay.
Listen, bro. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said, she's still gonna get hit on. But just because she has a bikini, she's gonna get hit on more now, right?
Correct.
So just
So
because
I'm
now
trying
she's gonna.
to eliminate the amount of
So
time
now,
she's getting hit
so
on.
now because
So
she's,
what's the problem?
No. Listen, but now because you're there, she can wear the bikini, right?
Correct.
But if she goes to the beach by herself, she shouldn't. She should wear like something covered.
She shouldn't even worry about going to the beach by herself.
Bro. See,
Period.
this is why I wanted to cut it.
But
earlier.
like, that's the thing. It's
Period.
your
it's what I would-
insecurity on a possibility of them hitting on her. And then
It
what's
has
the
nothing-
issue of them hitting on
It
her?
has nothing to do with an insecurity. It has nothing to do with an insecurity.
Okay,
I'm gonna repeat it
well,
one more
answer my
time.
question. What's the issue with other men hitting on her?
Because it is not conducive to the relationship.
How? She can't control what other people say or do to her.
I understand that, but if she's contributing to the amount of time she's gonna get hit on, 2 times versus 100 times,
So she has
so
to
she's
control her
acting.
life on if men will catcall her or not.
Yes, just like men
She's
control
already
their
doing that
lives.
as a woman, just so you know.
Well, that's great.
But
That's great.
what you want to do is try to control it to the point where you don't think men
I'm
should
not
be able
controlling
to
shit.
see her.
So, see, here's the
You
thing.
are. You
I'm
are.
not. No, you're not hearing me out. I'm not
You
controlling.
literally was like, why would she go to the beach without me?
No, no,
Like,
I'm not controlling this. This would be laid out right in the beginning. And unlike Jonah Hill, this would be, listen, these are my boundaries. You want to do this, more than happy for you. Go ahead, do it. But
and
not
maybe
with me.
therapy would make you find why these boundaries are set
No,
through
maybe therapy
insecurity.
has nothing to do with that. Maybe therapy has nothing to do with that. What has to do with that with men being territorial and me not wanting other dudes hitting on my bitch. And
And you
number
know what
two,
therapy
number
is? It's
two,
processing those emotions.
see, this is not processing emotions. I understand how dudes are. Like I get how dudes are. This has nothing
You
to do
have
with
a you
emotions.
have an understanding of how dudes are.
Correct.
You generalize on how dudes are.
Because
But
majority of
like I
dudes are
said,
like that.
every time, just because there's, connections doesn't mean that everyone's that way.
100%.
Human beings are such a spectrum to where you can't say
100%.
dudes are one thing.
But
And we agree
majority
on
of
this.
dudes are the same. It's just like
So
saying
would you agree on me
I'm not
that a
gonna jump out
majority
of the
of dude would
plane
not
because
go up
parachute
and
is
hit
not
on
gonna
a hot
open.
girl
Huh?
in public? Would you agree with me that the
That's
majority of
exactly what
dudes
I
would
was
not
gonna
go hit
say.
up
No,
a hot girl in public?
majority of dudes will not go hit up on hot girls. The dudes
So
that will
you
hit up
agree
on
with
dudes,
me that then that would lower the possibility of
no,
your significant other being in a bikini on the beach because you know
no,
that the majority, and admitted the majority of the population of men would
no,
not go hit on a hot girl in public.
no. It's not because the reason it's not. It's literally social media is proof for that. It's not. Well, I'm telling you, it's not. Literally, social media is proof for that.
How can we agree and you turn around and to the exact same thing and say no, it's not?
Well, you're not letting me finish. So what I'm trying to say is, whether she dresses one way or another way, she's going to get hit on by not majority of the dudes. She's going to get hit on by the people that are accustomed to doing that. And these people, the reason they're accustomed to doing that is because they understand it's a numbers game. So if they understand it's a numbers game, so if she's wearing scantily clad clothing, she's going to get hit on by these dudes more than if she's not. So you're trying to
But you
eliminate.
agree with me that those are a small amount of the population, right?
It doesn't matter. She's still the
No, it
number is
does. It
going to
matters
hit
to
You're
you
them.
all the
over.
time until now.
Yeah, and
Like,
you're
It does not.
and you're
It does not.
overlooking the fact that you're saying this, right? That you say it's territorial. You're just putting
Correct.
other words on the fact that it is an insecurity, bro.
It's not an
You have
issue. It's
yes, listen,
territorialism.
yes.
listen,
It's
listen.
territorialism. You can't get rid
Listen.
of your lizard brain. I don't
Listen.
understand what you guys don't
Listen,
understand.
listen. You're insecure in the sense that you're not secure about your guys' relationship, and in the sense that
Has
she's
nothing
gonna
to
go
do
out
with me
and
not
do
being
something
secure
dumb.
about the relationship. Because if I wasn't sure she's all in it, I'd have been like,
He
bro,
sees
we're done.
insecurity as a weakness. That's why he's resisting. But it's
No,
okay to have
no, it
insecurities.
has
It's
nothing
how
to
we
do with you.
process those emotions
See,
and
this is
how
the
we
problem.
better
How it
ourselves.
sounds,
I
this is
agree
how it
with you.
sounds.
I agree with you. You can't get past your little
I-
brain. We have those primal instincts, but we've also had a lot of years of development in our brain to
And I
where
don't
we
agree with that.
understand those chemicals that we call emotions.
I do not agree with that. And this is the reason why I don't agree with that. Because as I said in the beginning, the relationship would be laid out very clear. This is what I like and this is what I don't like. If you like to
Okay,
stop,
but
stop.
this
Let
has
me
nothing
finish.
to do with insecurity,
Say-
bro.
no,
you're,
stop.
you're making boundaries. That has nothing to do with insecurity.
Correct. So if she steps out of those boundaries, she steps out of the because in the beginning of stages when we're just hanging out, whatever, like you do you boo, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna smash out the girls as well. Now the minute she asks me for that relationship, then I'm gonna be like, this is how I am. If you want to continue doing what we're doing, we can continue the way we have it. But if you want a relationship, these are my boundaries. If you want to follow those boundaries, more than welcome. You don't have to stay here. I'm not holding you back. You can leave too. I'm giving you the option to do what you want. Now, if she does agree to those boundaries, now I expect her to oblige and abide by those boundaries. There's a big difference because you already agreed to these boundaries. So I don't want to hear this fuck shit here and fuck shit there. It's my friends. this is like girls' night out. No, you already knew in the beginning what it's going to be.
We get what you're saying.
So that
We
has
understand
nothing to do with
this.
insecurities.
Yes, it does. Those are the reasons you are setting those boundaries.
Right, I don't
because
see
you
either
can't,
one of you guys have a
because
psychology degree. That's what
you
I'm
don't
saying.
understand that those things, that those boundaries
Nah,
that
go.
you are setting make you feel insecure, not secure. Let's try to make it a different word because you feel attacked when we say insecure.
It has nothing to do with that. All I'm saying
It's
is
about the security of your relationship, right? You want to feel secure within your
Nope,
relationship,
nope.
correct?
And so you're trying to minimize
nope,
the amount of
nope,
times
nope,
she gets hit
no,
on.
it has nothing to do with me feeling
Bro,
secure
because you're
about the
putting a
relationship.
different
That would be
different
the
title
case.
on territorial versus you're not secure. It's the same thing.
No,
Why are you
it's
being
not.
territorial? Why? Why are you being territorial?
Because if she's with me,
because some other people might try and go after her, and you're saying there might be the offshoot she goes for.
correct. Now,
Correct. That's
here's
you're
the
not
big part that
secure
you're
about the
missing.
situation. You're
Here's-
not secure about the relationship.
No, this is the big part you're missing. You're thinking in a sense that like if she leaves, she can leave, no problem. I'll find another one that's better looking than her because I'm only going to
That
get
has
better
nothing
in
to
my
do with
life.
that.
This is what's gonna happen.
See, this is why I'm gonna say I agree with what Alex is saying. You're
I
saying
don't.
about moving on in a relationship. That's why it sounds like you feel attacked by this word insecurity. No, it's not attacking you, bro.
I don't feel attacked by the word insecurity. What I don't like is when you're putting it and saying insecurity. That is absolute bullshit. I do not agree
It's
with
not
that.
bullshit.
The-
You
so-
literally framed it correctly.
Stop for a minute.
And
Stop-
then say that's not it, bro.
Stop for a minute.
You literally framed it exactly how I said it. You agreed, and then
Stop,
said no,
stop
that's
for
not
a
it.
minute. Did any of you ever have an argument with a girl as much as you do right now with me when she says I want to date somebody that's 6 foot tall? Why is that accepted? Why don't you jump on their
What the fuck
Stop.
does that have to do with your
And I'm gonna
insecurities?
And
I said again,
I'm gonna
I said
explain
again,
this.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
fucking understand.
I'm
the
gonna
game.
Always
explain
out of
this.
left field with this, man.
Yeah, well, you need to hear me out.
ask
I'm gonna
me the question
explain
again.
this. So, have you ever had a conversation with a girl? The minute she says, "I want to date somebody 6 foot tall," do you tell her you're insecure? You should date somebody shorter than you. Why is it okay?
If a girl tells
Why
me
is
I
it
want to date
okay?
a guy that's 6 foot and only 6 foot, I'm gonna look at her like you're stupid.
Yes,
That's
that is
all I would
correct.
say.
But why is it okay to accept what women want, and it is not okay to accept what men want? This is my question.
No one's saying that.
Yes, it
No
is.
one ever
Because you're
said
saying-
that. Men
you're
have
saying that's
literally
insecure.
dominated this planet since the existence of
Correct,
time. You
because-
cannot say that.
Correct, we're physically
That is
stronger.
your
This is
own
what's going to
insecurities,
happen. I'm
which are
sorry.
being played on by people like Andrew Tate and the incel community. It's all insecurities, and you need therapy to understand this,
Well, see,
but
here's-
you won't put in the work in your own emotional self to understand this,
See,
and
this
this
is
is
the
the way you
problem.
are.
This
This
is
is
the
the
problem.
truth, and this is the way you are.
No, that is your
Just
truth.
so you
That is
know.
incorrect.
No,
That
no,
is your
no.
truth, 100%.
We all see it. You're the only one
You
in the
don't
room
see
that's
it.
blind
What you
to it.
see, what you see is those same people that you mentioned. What you see is the opposite end of the spectrum. The people that telling you these are all insecurities. You need therapy help. This is what you see because neither one of you guys has a PhD or any kind of a degree in psychology to even begin to understand what insecurities
Well, let's
are.
go to you then.
Stop.
You want to point the fingers? How many
Yes.
psychology degrees do you have?
I don't
How
have
many psychology
psychology.
courses have
Nor
you
am I
taken?
saying. Nor am I saying.
How many
that those insecurities-
how many psychologist
That's
courses
nothing to
have
do
you
with my
taken?
argument. That has
Because I
nothing
have
to do with my
taken
argument.
psychology courses. I have done extensive psychology studies. I have taken therapy myself and
amazing.
grown as a person.
That's amazing, but it has
So,
nothing to do with my
have
argument.
you done any of that?
Any of what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
has
no.
nothing
Answer
to
my
do with
question.
that.
Have you done
No,
any of that?
no, I have
Okay,
not. No,
so
I
what
have
you're
not.
saying is I'm speaking from ignorance because you do not know.
No, what I'm saying is
I who have studied and gone through and experienced
wrong.
am
Maybe
not
you should do it again. Maybe you should go and do it again.
Wow!
Yes, why?
Wow!
Yes,
Do you
maybe you should
understand
do it
how,
again.
How from a
fucking
place-
stupid you sound?
So
No,
how from
you
a-
sound stupid right now. That's the whole
How
point.
from a place
To
of
you and a-
ignorance-
Before we
Because-
continue, guys, before
because
we
I'm
continue,
not
guys,
arguing.
Hold on,
Because
guys.
I'm not arguing
Hold
the
on, Jay.
psychology aspect
Yeah,
of
hey,
what you're
hold
doing
on,
and
hold on.
saying.
Before
You
we
are the one
continue,
that's
you gotta
saying
we
that.
gotta keep it down. You guys are
Yeah.
blowing all of our listeners'
Yeah.
ears. Tune it down just a
What
bit.
I'm trying to say, you guys are sitting here and trying to tell me how I need psychological help because I have insecurities. Yet what I'm arguing have nothing to do with anything that has to do with psychology. Nothing. I've pointed out facts. 2 + 2 is always 2. Men are territorial. Tell me the men are not territorial.
Why are they
You don't need a
territorial?
psychology degree to understand that.
Explain territorial. What is territorial? What is the definition of territorial?
Is okay. Now, why are men territorial? The reason men are
No, no,
territorial.
no. What is the definition of territorial?
Look it up. Look it up.
It's
Give me the-
related or restrictions on particular territory or region. Why
Correct.
were they that way?
And I-
Because we were constantly warring against each other. It has nothing to do about vaginas.
It does,
But-
and I'm going to tell you how it does. And I'm going to tell you how it does. So
You're going to
hear
tell me how you think it does.
No, I'm going to tell you in a very simple way how it does it. Because what happens when a man has a child? What does a man? I'm going to walk you through it. What does a man have to do when they have a child?
Come in a vagina, and that's it.
No, that's fine. So they came in a vagina, they have a child. Now, what do they have to do when they have a child?
They don't have to do anything.
I understand, but what is traditionally needed to be done when you have a child? Throughout the ages.
I mean, parents provide, yes.
Provide safety and security, correct? And resources, correct? So now...
So you agree that security is a part of it? But before you did.
Man is providing the security, not the child or the wife are providing the security. Man is providing the security to the family, resources, and provision, correct or not correct?
Are we talking
far.
about ancient societies or today?
Societies up to today, up to I don't know, up to the feminist revolution, 1950s, 60s. Let's talk about it. So stop for a second. Even to this day, if you ask a girl what qualities are you looking in a guy, she's gonna tell you safety, security, resources. We're not even going there. Now, second, so if the man is providing safety, security, and resources, what is the worst thing that can happen to the man if he provides safety, security, and resources?
Die?
No. For him to find out that this child that they provided for is not theirs. Now you just provided safety, security, and resources for a child that is not yours.
Okay,
Stop,
even
stop,
though
stop. We're still
throughout
walking
the
through
whole
this.
existence of humankind, the adoption and taking on wards and taking in other people's children has always happened. But okay, continue with your point.
Consensual. This is non-consensual. Consensual
So
adoption.
to you and your insecurities, the worst thing a man can have is finding out that his wife was infidelity and had a baby.
100%. 100%. That is correct. 100%. So now, men throughout the ages have developed to be territorial due to this, because the biggest thing that men have
And not the whole warring thing. Not the whole warring thing, just this.
Warring thing has something to do with that. I'm not talking
Something,
about
but this is the big part.
not the big part. This is part of it.
How
This is
big?
part of it. I don't know the percentage-wise what the bigness is, but it
Really?
is part of
Because
it.
usually when you're confident, you say 80.
No, it's not 80. It's not 80, but I could
Okay,
definitely
so would
say-
you say it's bigger or smaller than the warring part?
So the warring part, the territorial part, came from men wanting to have as much land, resources, and wealth, and access to what? Virginic women since day one. Look at Genghis Khan. The reason every 200 person in the world walks around with his DNA is because that's what he had. So the point here is, again, we're continuing with the same point. If you being cuckolded has been a thing throughout the history and evolution, men had evolved not wanting to be cuckolded. This is where that's coming from. Because I'm going to provide my resources and security, the shit that I earn, to something that is not mine, to somebody else's saved gain.
So when you're providing that security, do you feel secure?
That is not me feeling secure or not. That is my job.
So what's the whole point of security? Is it not a
That is
feeling?
my job to provide that to my
Is
family.
security not a feeling? Is feeling secure not a thing?
Feeling
That's the way it
secure for
sounds.
my family, not me. That has nothing
So-
to do with
so-
me. I'm providing this
so
to my family, not me.
You doing the actions of like actually defending your family or something like that, that's one thing, right? But that's not security. The security is them being able to rely on you and not have to worry about that, correct?
For them, correct. For them. individually,
Exactly,
for them.
exactly. So they feel secure.
Correct.
But if they didn't feel like you would set those standards and boundaries that you just set, they would feel insecure.
They would
in
feel
that.
insecure. And I would know that I'm not doing my job.
So you agree that insecurities is just when you're not feeling secure.
For see, like
For
this
everyone but me, because I'm Jay and I don't have emotions.
That has nothing to do with that, bro. I'm telling you again. You're going with the security thing because you're trying to tell me something that it's not that I'm not going to tell. You're trying to tell me something that I don't agree with. Or I'm trying to tell you it's my job. If I'm not doing my
Bro,
job,
I've
I did
walked
not
you
do my
to
job.
so much water.
Just like I
put
just
it
walked
there.
you to the water.
No.
Yes,
you
I did.
walked through
There you go.
some rubble full of bullshit.
Nah,
But
it's
yes, bro.
No, it's not. I
Yes.
disagree. 100% disagree with you on this. 100% disagree with you on this. I don't agree
So
with this whole
you
kumbaya
don't
mumbo
you
jumbo
so
bullshit.
let's put it this way. You don't agree anyone has any insecurities at all.
People do. I agree with that. They
So
do.
people
Everyone
have
has.
insecurities.
Correct.
So then it's a possibility that those insecurities are the things that are making you feel not good about things, correct?
In this specific subject, I don't have an insecurity for this specific. Somebody else does, and I know of many dudes that try to control their current girls in a relationship versus giving them the option to leave. Now that's an
That's fine.
insecurity.
That's fine. But
That's an insecurity.
Listen.
like we've saying, those boundaries are set because those are the boundaries that you feel secure in.
The way you
Correct.
Those are boundaries that are not conducive to a
Listen,
relationship. It has nothing to do
regardless-
In
with
your
feeling-
opinion, which is what
regardless-
you feel secure in.
regardless,
No, it has nothing to do with feeling secure or
regardless on
not.
how you act upon it, the act is driven by this insecure
No,
emotion.
because if I'm going to provide safety, security, and provisioning and lay my life on a line if somebody walks in a door, I want to make sure. It has nothing to do with the security. I want to make sure I'm not doing all this in vain for no fucking reason. Because if that's not the case, I don't want to do that for this specific person. Now, I understand that I'm going to need to do this, but whether it's this person or the other person, for me, does not matter. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about a specific girl, this girl or that girl. Now, if it was about the specific girl, I would 100% agree with you. I would need therapy for my insecurities because I want her to be there strapped down and being with me. But that's not the case. That is not the case 100%. Because I don't care whether it's this girl or the other girl. They're both going to get the same treatment.
And we're not saying that there's anything wrong with your boundaries.
And that's it.
We are just saying that if we go back before those boundaries, if we dig a little deeper, do a little of
why
work,
the boundaries are
you would
driven.
understand what drives those boundaries.
And I just told you what drives those boundaries.
Insecurities.
No, I
Let's
just
move on.
told you. in
And this is a
plain English.
circular argument. So let's talk about DeSantis and his CNN interview. Did you guys see that?
No, I did not.
No, no, who
Bro
cares?
looked
40
like a
points behind.
goddamn alien.
Did you post it
He's
in
40
the
points
chat?
behind on everything. Who cares?
40 points?
Yeah, he's number 2, but he's 40 points behind. So
Trump is winning?
yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's
But
winning
I
Republican
think
vote.
Oh, well,
Buddy
of course.
Boy's trying to go for VP now. Because
Who?
He's not gonna be able to. He talked too much shit about Trump.
DeSantis?
Trump ain't gonna allow that.
VP?
he doesn't talk shit about Trump. That's the thing. He doesn't. Chris Christie does. He does a lot. And a lot of other Republicans are jumping on. But DeSantis still skips around the subject because he knows even if he's like second head runner, he'll be like first VP pick.
But the Trump,
Not in my opinion. I think Trump's going to pick a girl. But
who is he gonna pick?
Nikki Haley,
Why a girl?
Carrie Lake, because, I mean, come on, it's Donald Trump. You think he's going to prefer looking at a man all the time or a female that, like,
I don't-
and
I
a
don't-
lot of these are trying hard?
I don't think Trump has an issue looking at a bunch of pretty girls. Ever.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think he would just do it just to have a piece of ass in the office. Like,
Maybe.
But you think, wait, so you're saying put her as VP? No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Who is the VP?
That's what you're
DeSantis?
saying? No, her. I think you're saying Trump to have her. No, that's what you're saying. No, am I wrong? I was reading a comment at the same time.
I think Trump might go for a girl, but, like,
But
I don't
see, the
fucking know.
thing is with Trump, the VP has to be a person. I mean, we saw the shit with Mike Pence. He has to be a person where Trump says, this is what we're going to do, and this person does. And as a girl that's reached those levels, she's not going to be that agreeable to him. So I think he's going
Well-
to just choose somebody that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to fold to what you're saying. And when Mike Pence came out and said something, he pretty much like poured shit all over him. So I think anyone
Mike
that's
Pence
going...
came from a coalition between a religious group called the Family, and that has a lot of political ties. That's how he got his VP spot.
Well, either way, when Mike Pence said something against Trump, Trump put a bunch of shit on him, and everybody knows this. So, and by me, I understand for a girl to reach a certain level, she has to be disagreeable, kind of act like a guy, and get to those levels, right? So I don't think Trump is gonna take
Politics,
that
I
from
don't
a
know
girl.
about that, but
I don't think she's gonna take that. I don't think he's gonna take that from a girl. It
Trump
has to
won't
be
take
very
that from
docile.
anyone. What do you mean? Trump wants 100% loyalty, and
That's my point. This is why I'm saying why a girl, because the girl is gonna try to prove something, and Trump is gonna be like, "Fuck no, you ain't doing it."
I don't know. I think Alex. I don't know. Like I feel like you're right when like you always say that like girls who are successful, like successful business owners and stuff like that are like that. But
They're usually disagreeable. It's great for.
yeah,
it's great
right?
to have those traits for a business because it makes you
Right,
successful.
Right. But I don't think necessarily for politics. You're right.
What do you
yeah,
mean?
Because
politics is a whole different thing.
you can drive.
It's all about
you can-
connections.
you can have
I
these connections
understand.
and be driven by these ideologies, whether they're masculine or not. Right?
Bro.
Or you could just be a puppet to your donors. Like you could just be the pretty face that they chose to put up for voters, so that
That's what I'm
you
saying.
could just be fed anything. So like,
That's what I'm saying. So which one of these women that you're talking about could be that?
I mean, Carrie Lake literally like vacuumed up Trump's little podium area before he did one of his speeches, and
Well, then that means that's
Marjorie
gonna-
Taylor Greene's trying hard, but like I feel like it's
Then
just
that's what's gonna
gonna
be
be
then.
like a bunch of women, and he's gonna try to do a beauty pageant to see who's VP.
Yeah, and that's
while
what's
everyone
gonna be.
else is like, you should put someone else in there.
No, that's what's going to be then. I mean, we're not going to see a Kamala type of deal where, he's going to allow her to go out there and, like, have these conversations with a bunch of people, meet up with a bunch of people, like Joe Biden and Kamala are working together. Like, he's not going to do that. So whoever it is, they're going to have to, like, literally say, Papi Trump, you're right. No matter what he says.
He also needs the women vote hard, so having a woman
He
VP
does.
helps.
Like, yes, soccer moms are the ones that decide elections in the United States. That is 100% true. Now, at the end of the day, no matter how much shit he said, he still won. So either he's gonna double down, on the Bible Belt.
How is his whole charges coming along?
The federal ones, they keep trying to push the date until after the election, but it's at least tentatively set till December now, so we won't really hear much except for leaks until then. The other ones aren't. I mean, they're already wrapped up or about to be finished or not started yet.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, what's his name? Kennedy Jr. Like a lot of people are saying, he's going out there for a book deal, this and that. He's trying to grift, make money. I mean, the bottom line is DeSantis is number 2 and he's trailing by 40 points. Who is the person on the Democratic side? They're trailing by 40 points as well. So like this is pretty consistent. Like who's gonna be the candidates? You got Trump and you got Biden. That's it. There's nothing in between. Like you're not gonna get it out of left hand because by now we would know if Kennedy Jr. was making headwinds. Like you would see that he's gaining popularity. He's not. DeSantis is not gaining popularity. No one besides Florida knows who DeSantis is. Newsom is the same way.
Oh no, trust me, the country knows. It's just they don't look at him in a nice
That's
light.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, no, the country knows they don't look at him. No, don't say that because I think they're still a populist. The reason he's number 2 is because people look at him in a nice light. Otherwise, he wouldn't be number 2.
No, I mean we get to see those national numbers now with him, and like there's literally numbers now that are showing that the further he keeps going on like the abortion stuff and like the banning and the anti-LGBTQ stuff, the more moderate and independent are leaning more towards Trump than even him, because they were viewing him as like Trump without the baggage, but now he's starting to go super hard right, so they're like, oh, is it worth it? We could just deal with Trump for 4 more years.
4 more years?
Yeah, he can only serve 8, so he
In
would only
total?
get 1 term.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
only be able to do 1 term.
I don't know. I think it's pretty clear who's going to be the candidates at this point. You know, I
I
don't.
mean, Trump's already come out telling them how he's going to
Isn't the
be.
rule supposed to be you can't do more than 8 consecutive years?
Consecutively. That's what I
You
thought
can't
too.
serve more than 8 years. You can't serve
Is
more
it
than 2
consecutive?
terms.
thought it
Is
was
it
It
consecutive?
doesn't matter how it's consecutive or what. It's just that you can't serve
You
more
sure about
than
this?
2 terms.
Okay, I don't know the exact.
So, for
Yeah, we've
example,
only had a couple of presidents, after that standard was set, but those were like due to wartime and shit like that.
so like for example, Obama served his 8. He can't go and try again.
No, no,
at
I
all.
know the 8, but I didn't know if it's consecutive or you can like skip and then come back again.
And do a full 8 again after a 4,
Nah, because then
No.
you could just lose every other election
and then get
and just keep passing it back and forth between you and your other dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just don't see anyone else. No candidate is out there.
That's the problem, right? We've talked
So,
about this many
like
times.
at this point, I hope and I wish there was a normal Democrat out there. But the problem here is, since religion is not a thing anymore, people can't be divided. So now they're dividing them by politics. Who's a Democrat and who's a Republican? So people, majority of the time, are either hardcore Republicans or hardcore Democrats. There's really nothing in between, even though they say they're in between, but they're really not. Like there's
Actually,
no people
the
that
numbers
lean.
really show an overlap of the country. It's actually a very popularized that people believe that there's two hard left and rights, but it's actually just a really hard leaning middle. Like
That's what I'm
everyone
saying.
agrees on multiple things.
Yeah,
Majority
Maybe
of
not
the
like
people fall in the middle, right?
75%, but it's like 60 to 68%.
That's what I'm
agrees
saying.
on
It's a
most
hard
shit.
leaning middle. That's when I say hard left, I don't mean like the extremes, right? Like I'm talking about a middle that's leaning towards the left more, and then middle that's leaning towards the right more.
Yeah, the majority of the people fall in that middle, right? Like we agree on the majority of things, and
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, on majority things, but then you have.
but they still find a way to split us into these.
Yeah,
two,
because that's how you.
right.
That's your contingent, right? Like if you cannot bet on someone that's like flip flopping, right?
What do you?
It's like picking where to eat with your
I
girl.
just
Like
thought
it's
I
a
just thought
nightmare.
it popped in my brain, but not really related, but kind of. What do you think of these guy Joe Rogan was talking about? This I guess this guy studies history and stuff, saying that at the end of a bunch of empires throughout time, when they've become too advanced and like there's no more problems and this and that, right? Like they've settled that gender starts to become a problem, and that's
Yes.
the fall of the
Yes.
empire.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? Have you heard of that before?
Yes.
It's
I'm saying,
just,
have you heard of it though? Like,
I've heard of it. It's a narrative, but
right?
it's
It
not.
sounds like a
It's
narrative
not
they're trying to play.
historic. Yeah.
So
Because we have we have long history of like I said, Native Americans, dual spirits, multiple spirits. Like you have different flames. You have Greeks didn't know man or female; they loved all. You know, like
well, no,
it's
I think,
not.
I think with Greeks it was like they said the real love can only exist between men. Like the idea of platonic love. I think that's what they were talking about. Like
Oh, it wasn't platonic. They
Well, I
fucked each
understand.
other before they went to battle,
yeah. Well, no, I understand that.
and in the bathhouses.
Yeah, I get that. They've done that too, right? Like I get that. But what I'm saying when they were talking about like real love can exist between men is like a man can only love a man because they're able to understand each other better than a man will be able to love a woman in the same manner, because he probably doesn't understand her as well as he would understand a man. I think that's what they were talking about when they were saying that. But I'm not taking away that they were not smashing.
You know,
each
I
other.
feel like that's that has a lot of truth to it, but not necessarily at the same time, right? Because if you just learn to love as more of like, because I feel like the reason it has a lot of truth is due to back then the amount of, you know, roles, the amount of like play that you being a male or female had to do with your roles and how you went about life, right?
Well, no, I
Nowadays, a male and a female can grow up doing exactly the same thing from top to bottom. I mean, besides from I get to pee standing up and things like that, right? Like
I mean,
medical
they have a
things.
little funnel thing.
Yeah,
that
they got the
made.
funnel, right? But you know what I mean, right? Like they get to go to the same school, go and have the same exact education and all these things,
So
and
you
the
took-
same jobs on the majority, and so that's when nowadays I feel like it's more of just human, right? Like you just learn to adapt to each other's
That's-
human human norms, right? So like things that, like for example, I heard something today. Why do we start to yell at each other? It's funny you guys are yelling at each other. Why do you guys start to yell at each other in arguments, even though you guys can hear each other talking just fine? Because you guys' hearts are getting so far apart that you guys have to speak like that to make you feel
That's a
like to
bullshit
make the
argument.
same other people understand. But at the same
But
time,
this yelling is assertion of dominance.
someone, not, it's just it's a figure of speech, bro.
Oh,
Not,
yeah, yeah.
It's
not
a different
literally.
it's a different way of looking at it. You're saying it's dominance, but it's actually you're trying to get your point out heard, right?
Yeah.
So you don't feel the same
You think,
closeness
yeah,
of
it's not. I don't mean
someone
like
you
actual power, but I
understand
mean
you.
like
Yeah, no,
figure
no, I
of speech.
get it.
Like your guys' ideologies are so far apart that you have to say it with dominance so you can feel like you can get it across. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But then when you have someone that understands you so much in your habits, you can do things like just a look, and it's like a sentence,
Yeah.
right? Like they just know what you're talking about, right? You can just look
No,
at
no,
your
I
brother
agree
or
with
your
that.
mom or the certain way in a certain situation because something's happening, and they know what you meant by it. It
Yes.
can be a yes or a no, or I need that, or I need this, or I'm about to go do that. It can be a whole sentence, and it's just a look,
No.
or a figure, or a gesture, or something like that, right? Because you guys understand each other so much.
But I think what you
Yeah.
were talking about earlier, sympathy, being sympathetic to someone's issues and being empathetic with someone's issues. And I think to be empathetic with someone's issues, you have to be in someone's shoes to be empathetic with their issues. Now, you can be sympathetic to women's issues, just like women can be sympathetic to men's issues, but they will never be empathetic to men's issues.
Well, that's
and we will
specific-
never be empathetic to women's issues because we're not in their shoes.
But let me ask you this: how many issues do you deal with on a regular basis that are just people issues, not necessarily something that's
Exactly.
specific to you as
Those,
a man
those,
or woman?
those you can be
That's what I
empathetic
mean,
about.
right? Those are the That's the
And I
majority
do
of
agree,
issues, right?
And I do agree that we're the most equal we've ever been in history, and even the most egalitarian societies, which is Scandinavian countries. And when that happens, the roles start going back to the more traditional, and this was proven through the COVID pandemic and stuff like that. Where everybody kind of went home, and then women elected to stay home when men elected to go back to work. You know what I mean? To stay home and work from home and take care of the children in the household, where men decided to go back to the workforce and go outside the house, right? Like what I'm trying to say is, going back to the whole thing, like a woman can never be empathetic to your problems, just like you would never be empathetic to male problems.
Yeah.
See,
yeah,
I
there you
think
go.
you
Male-
misunderstand the meaning of the words, right? So sympathy is
Mm-hmm.
when you can symbolize with someone. Like you've had the similar experiences and feelings, so you understand that through like
What is the
experience.
what is the
Empathy
definition?
is you understanding the feelings about that, even though you haven't actually like experienced it necessarily.
Is that what the definitions are?
Yeah,
Yes.
empathy is about just understanding how they're feeling and feeling bad about how they're feeling right now. Sympathy is that you feel you have similar situation. and that you know what
maybe
they've
I'm
gone
confusing the
through,
words. Let me look them up. Empathy meaning.
right? That's how it is.
Let me look it
Yes,
up.
yes. Sympathy
The ability to
is
empathy is the ability to identify with or understand another situation or feelings, synonymous to pity. Now, sympathy meaning is a feeling of pity or sorrow for the distress of another. Commiseration synonym is pity as well.
yes.
So-
Those are their base definitions. But look up Merriam-Webster. I know, and a bunch of other sites have like similarities that it's put in empathy versus sympathy.
Mutual understanding.
it-
This is sympathy. The number 3 definition, not 1 or 2. Number 3 definition: mutual understanding or feeling between people. And empathy. Number 2 didn't make any sense. Number 2 on empathy is the attribution of one's own feelings to an object. The intellectual identification of the thoughts, feelings, or state of another person. So with that coin, empathy is literally what I'm saying. Women cannot ever empathize.
No,
Men's-
what we are looking at is the action of empathy and sympathy, right? And this is why we need to look up sympathy versus empathy, right?
Okay, let's look up sympathy
So
versus
that-
sympathy.
In the terms of what we are doing in the action of either sympathizing with someone or empathizing with someone.
Okay, sympathy versus empathy. What's the difference?
Sympathy is when you share the feelings of another Empathy is when you understand the feelings of another, but not necessarily share them.
Okay, so for the most part,
Sympathy, you share them because you've gone through it. Empathy, you just understand them, but you haven't necessarily shared those exact feelings.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Which I think women will never be able to empathize because they never experience a male life.
Empathy.
Which
But
exactly what I was
that's
saying.
the definition of empathy is
No,
doing
no,
it
no.
without the experience.
Yeah. So they can empathize because they can.
They can.
They ready because they can. Yeah, right. Because they can attempt to understand it, but haven't actually gone through it.
Wait, where did you find this?
I looked up exactly what you said. Empathy versus sympathy. Merriam
I looked up the
Webster,
definition. Okay.
right.
What is it?
Sympathy is when you can share the feelings with another, right? Empathy is when you understand the feelings, but you haven't necessarily shared them. You're kind of looking at it a little
So
different.
you-
So they're trying to understand.
Well, my
them, but
point is
haven't
they
shared
can
them.
never
That is empathy.
understand because they never, even though they're never
That
shared,
means
they
can
cannot never
they-
understand.
That means they can't.
So
if
they
by-
can't
by-
sympathize with us. Is
no,
what you're trying to say.
sympathize they can. They cannot empathize with us
No, you have it backwards, bro.
because if
You have it backwards. Sympathy is when you have the experience, right? Empathy is when you are emotionally invested to understand the experience.
Read both.
sympathy is when you share the feelings of another. Got it. Empathy is when you understand the feelings of another, which I'm saying that they don't understand the feelings,
Keep going,
Okay.
keep going.
but do not necessarily share them.
This is what we're saying.
Exactly.
You have the meanings a little
Yeah, but
switched
what I'm
up
trying to say,
on the
guys, I
words.
think you're missing. Even though they don't share them with the guys, they still don't understand them.
So by your definition, they can neither.
They
sympathize
cannot
or,
sympathize with us.
or sympathize.
They
or
can
empathize.
sympathize with that because you have some common.
No,
topics
no,
you
no,
share.
literally
no.
have the definitions in
No,
front of
bro,
you. You got them
because
flipped, bro.
if
You got them flipped in your
if
head.
If by your definition they can't empathize,
Okay, if
they
I'm-
can neither sympathize.
let's try to break it down into words he understands.
break
Emotions,
it down.
right? Women, you think more emotional, right?
Yes.
So empathy is applying emotions to a situation, even if you haven't experienced it personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So women who are emotional
Mm-hmm.
can apply those emotions to try to empathize
From
with
their
men.
from their own point of view. And
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
From
but
what
that-
they
But
are-
if they
from-
experience the same thing that the person's going through,
That would
they
be
could
sympathy.
There
sympathize.
you
Correct.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is that the women's lens is not the men's lens.
Right.
So they could never apply their emotions to men's issues.
But they are still attempting to. They're still
They
attempting
can
to
attempt.
try and
They can
replace
try
empathy.
and attempt, but
That's
they're
Which is
never
what
able to.
empathy
Well,
is.
that's what it is. The act of empathy. That's what they're doing. Maybe they're not empathizing correctly to 100% in the scale that the man's feeling, but they're still feeling
Because they
empathy.
haven't
That is the
had
point,
that
that's my
situation,
point.
so they can't sympathize.
Thank you. Correct. So they haven't had the situation.
So they can't
They can
sympathize.
attempt to empathize, but they won't be able to.
And
That's
they
my
can
point.
never sympathize
No,
with
no.
something.
Even the act of attempting to empathize is empathy,
Yeah.
which is
Maybe
empathizing.
Maybe they're
Yes.
not. Maybe
Anyway,
they don't
the point-
understand
the
you
point
100%,
here
but
is-
they're still empathizing.
The point here is a woman will never leave a man's life. Never will, because she doesn't have to. A majority on average will never live a man's life because they don't have to. That's my point. So if
Live,
they don't
leave,
have
what I
to,
say?
huh?
You said live and then leave one time.
Live,
Okay.
not leave. Live a man's life or man's existence. She cannot.
I mean, do you want to live a woman's existence?
No, I don't.
That
That's
shit
not the
sounds like it
Exactly.
hurts.
That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. The
You know,
point
it's
is,
funny. The
that's
other,
How
not
is
the
it not?
point.
the other day, I was standing
The point
around
is
the
that when-
girls, and they were all bitching about their cramps and stuff like that, and I was like, "You guys don't have the urge to have sex 100 times." Like all this, like I started pulling out the playing cards.
Do you understand blue balls? I bet you've never felt that pain.
And they actually done the research. I've looked into it, and these two pains cannot be compared. There's no definitive way you can say one is worse than the other one.
I mean, pain is also subjective. Everyone feels pain differently.
Yeah,
So,
right.
like,
And women
even
on
that's
average
on a scale.
on average can tolerate more pain because of the childbirth.
So I have two more things that I came prepared today with. I think Eddie mentioned it earlier. Did you see the new thing about Adam 22?
Yes.
What's the newest thing? So there's been a bunch of
So-
shit they've been saying, and
Which part? The land.
Love,
I know,
Love
right?
went on
Him
Love
saying
went
that
on
he
a
wants to do
interview,
better.
right?
okay,
And apparently was talking shit.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. I listen. Are you talking about the interview of him in the car where he said, "Yeah, I did have. I smashed her better
So
than
I'm saying Adam 22's point of view, what he came out, because
Right.
he
Okay.
did a whole like live thing
Okay.
and
Right.
posted it.
Yeah.
That he
I
went on
saw-
an interview,
I saw.
was
Wait.
post
Before you
talking
go,
shit.
Before you go there, let me ask you this: Is it about the interview of him? There's this car, and they're interviewing him, and he pretty much said they asked him straight up, did you basically smash her better than Adam 22? And he said, yes. On balance of probabilities, I did a better job, and then I got numb with her, and then ended up finishing on her face. But then he said, I did
thought
a
he
better.
finished inside her. That's what he said.
He said he just busted.
Nah,
So anyway,
so
don't know.
I heard. See, that this is funny because I heard him say the same thing on an interview. He was saying like, because the interviewer asked, "Oh, was the cream pie planned?" And
Yeah.
and so basically he goes,
He said,
"No,
"I went numb."
but I went numb," and so like it just happened.
It just
and
happened.
then so he nutted inside of her, and then I guess she started playing with it. Is what he said.
Maybe I misunderstood.
That's what I heard. Damn, I hate talking
Maybe-
about this shit.
Okay, so
I
what's the
don't
cream
know,
pie?
because he went on a
Cream pie when
couple
he
of
finishes.
things.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right,
And
so
now, don't get me wrong, this could all be a whole promotional for the
I
fucking
think
video.
100%.
So
I 100% would believe that this is more promotional than actually beef.
So my thing was, he said that I did smash her better than Adam, but then he went and said, well, because she has feelings,
Right,
it might
that-
feel better to her with Adam.
Yeah,
This is what
but
he
he's
said.
saying like actual performance wise, 100% he did a better
Yeah.
job than Adam.
Which if that's his job, I mean, that's Adam's job as well. But if he's like, if he's a third leg tripod, I mean, if that's what she likes, he probably, like, in overall scheme of things, he probably did a better job. So I don't know. So I don't know what the thing is. Maybe he did a better job. You know what I mean? But
I
go
mean,
ahead.
Adam's a BMX person that became
Yeah,
a porn star. Like,
So he wasn't.
motherfucker had a dick like that. He was born to be a porn star. You know,
Okay, so
like,
what did Adam say?
so Adam was like, you disrespected me. You disrespect my wife. You've cut off from being able to fuck my wife. Don't talk any more shit, or I'm gonna release something. You know what I'm talking about. And also watch your back when you're in these streets.
That's dumb. I also saw him saying, "Oh, I just need to get better. If you do a better job, I need to get better so I can raise my level."
See, that's why I'm saying this has to just be promotion, because he's flip-flopping on the subject hard depending on where it's coming from.
It's been happening since the first day. He's talked shit.
Right.
And you know what's funny? I've noticed every time I feel like he's talking shit, he seems all drugged up or drunk or something. Like he's gotta be on something when he's talking his
Well,
shit.
he's high all the time, isn't he?
I don't know. I would assume so, from what it seems like, at least when I'm seeing
Well,
a couple of these rants.
The point here is whether it's a promotion or not. Maybe it ended up backfiring. I mean, yeah, they earned a little bit of change with this because of the popularity around it, and I think it's dwindling. Nobody gives a shit anymore because the drama is gone, and I think it might have backfired the original. So
I mean, maybe sometimes you just need a high influx of cash, you know?
well,
Do
yeah,
a bunch of promotional shit, get your bag and get out.
yeah, but
I mean, get your big bag and then go back to
but
what you were doing.
I don't think this was a very good long-term strategy. Bottom line, it was
It doesn't
quick
have to
cash
be.
if it was.
I mean, you talk in business terms all the time. Quick and cash inflations of cash are great, especially when you can grab them quick from something that you know will get promotional.
Yeah,
You
but
know, I love that
quick cash
clip
always comes with slow
Sneeko,
problems.
when
That's the
Sneeko's
problem.
on No Jumper and Adam, Sneeko's asking him like, oh, like you guys have a kid, like how are you guys gonna like talk to her about this as she gets older, right? Like of course she'll see it when she gets older in social media. And Adam was kind of like, oh, I'll probably just like introduce to her like little by little, like from the small scale of kind of maybe like, oh, mommy takes pictures, and then
Yeah, I
mommy,
understood that too.
mommy's a model. Oh, okay, people like, okay, mommy sells pictures to people that like to buy these pictures, and then Sneeko goes, mommy gets BBC'd. Right then and there, he's not giving a fuck. I thought
No,
that was
Sneak-
so
Sneak-
disrespectful.
Yeah, Sneeko was out of pocket, but he was 100% correct.
He was went
100%
But he
correct.
went from she gets paid to take some pictures to she gets BBC. That's quite a jump.
I mean, he might be correct, right? But the thing is, like, those are within the boundaries of their marriage. So he's disrespecting their marriage by saying that. Like, if it was just like she also does porn, like,
So
that'd
I
be one
think
thing.
from
But
Sneeko's point of view, he disrespected the marriage by allowing that to happen.
Right?
just from
I understand
Nico's
that.
point of view. But again, that's not his marriage, so I don't know
Exactly.
who are
There
you
you
to
go.
say anything about somebody else's family. I get that, but the point here that I'm bringing
I'm
up,
saying, like I said, he's out of pocket. He was out of pocket saying that joke.
And see, that's furthering my point of promotional because they know that there's a large majority of population that thinks like that.
Yo,
So that then they'll be
so
like, just to go watch the video,
This is the
they'll go
thing.
watch
well,
it.
that's the whole point. If the large majority of population is like that, then the shit that they're promoting is not for the large majority of population.
like they
But
Majority
it's
of them.
taboo,
they
and
had-
taboo sells.
Yeah, they
No,
had
no, I get
the,
that.
Especially
I
in the
get
porn
that.
industry.
Aiden has been even got him and Andrew Tate to talk on like a pod. They're all together.
Aiden was there when they were. Wasn't Aiden in a interview where he just like walked away? He asked him that and he walked away.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was in an interview.
I saw the one where he was like, "I want you to be in front." Or wait, no,
Yeah,
I want
so-
to. I want to get by.
Aiden was in an interview with them, and basically Adam. This is when I was talking. This is one of the ones I really think Adam was like on drugs or some shit, because Adam was like, "Oh, if you respect me, you'll fuck my wife. I want her to like be giving me head while you do what you do from the back. Something about I want you to wear a condom." And then they like this is why I agree with you. It's all publicity because they're saying way crazy shit. Like then there's another clip.
Wait, is Adam insecure for saying that shit?
There's another clip where Aiden is just in a Discord call with just Lena, and like they're like setting up that he's gonna go over and shit. It's a bunch of bullshit going on.
Yeah, no, I understand, but is he insecure for
Why would he
saying
be
this or the
insecure?
other?
How would that be an insecurity when he's secure
Break
enough in
that-
his relationship
break
enough
that-
to be
break
able
that
to
down.
have sex with other people?
Break that down, Dr. J. How would
No,
that
no,
be
I'm
an
just
insecurity?
asking.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
but how would it be a secure? How would it be?
No, because he's right now saying, well, you watch your back because you disrespect my family, this and that. Is he insecure about him saying things about his family now?
Who
I
cares
mean-
what people are saying? Yes.
Well, no,
Yeah.
this is a legit question.
Yeah, like I said.
He
cares
he
what-
brought someone into the boundaries.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's someone
His
is talking
security
shit.
zone.
So he's
And
insecure
then someone
about it.
broke
Does he not feel
those.
safe
That
anymore?
someone broke that security. So yes, you can feel insecure about that. But
okay, so that's
like
what I'm
we
saying.
said,
So
it's
he's
probably
insecure
fucking
then.
promotional. So it probably all doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
he
all just for
probably
the
don't
bag.
care.
I think he's burning inside.
And do
he did
you
something he
think?
thought he's gonna
Ready? I
fucking
have
fight,
a,
now
I have
he's
a
fucking
conspiracy
burning.
now.
He's burning deep down inside and he can't fucking deal with it
Conspiracy
anymore.
theory. Do you think that they're like on the edge of like breaking up and they've already like made it up that they're gonna break up and
Fact.
just doing all of this for
Fact. I see
publicity?
that's more plausible.
I mean, they already
Fact.
have. They already have.
That
they
it's
are-
still
they
a
have
publicity stunt.
they
It's
have
just a publicity
subpoenas.
stunt to make some money,
Money
before,
before
they
they
split
break
their
up.
ways.
I can see that happening. Now
They
that's
already.
the better
They
plausible
already have
explanation.
subpoenas and profit separation as well. By the way.
So there you go. So that answers your question.
You think they were a whole setup celeb relationship from the beginning? No, I don't think so.
mean-
They have
No.
a kid.
I think what happened was she got with him, and then she was, because he had his podcast, he was pretty popular, and that gave her clout. She got with him, and then she didn't see that this, like, whatever she thought he is not really that, which happens a lot of time with women, because women get in a relationship thinking that this is the ideal guy, but then they're realizing that there's no such thing as ideal and perfect, and then they start getting disappointed, and I think this is what happened. And it could have happened on the same thing with him on his side.
Could have been many
Yeah.
things too.
If we look at the realms of porn, right? Porn stars lose followers when they have babies and they get married. Because that territorial thing that Jay was talking about. Because some men get relationships with their fucking porn stars
Yeah.
and then they can't
Yeah.
sexualize them after they see them as a mom or with someone else.
Well, yeah,
So-
it's evolutionary.
So they lose those two, right? And she did both. She got married, had a kid, right? But what would be a great reintroductory if you got to go back to porn to get your bag? This big publicity stunt helps both of them. They could split easy, come out with a bag. I could see it happening.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I think this is more than anything that they're getting a divorce. It's going to be pretty soon announced, or it's going to come out.
Didn't they just get married though?
They just had a baby too. The baby is like barely 1 or 2
I think
years
it's barely
old.
a couple years old.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing.
I don't know.
Bottom line is he didn't
We'll
give a
see.
shit, because if that was the case, why didn't he want her to smash some other dude before that? He finally came to terms with it. Finally, I kind of did a lot of internal searching and I came to terms with it. Nah, bullshit.
See, that could never be me. I'm sorry, never me. Never,
Why are you
never,
insecure?
never be me. No, I just don't want someone fucking my wife.
Are
I
you
don't
insecure?
understand. That's not
But
something-
that, I mean,
Are you
that
insecure?
could be also a territorial insecurity too. Like, don't get me wrong, I share the same ones. I don't want some other dick in my wife. Like,
It's
like
one of those things where it's one of those things that, for example, I'm in a, what would it be called, a monogamous relationship, right? So like,
Yeah.
we're just for each other, right? Like, why do? And I also would find it kind of nasty too. It would creep me out in the sense like another man was inside of you. That kind of like, yeah.
And which
Yeah.
goes back to my
I
whole
guess
point.
that means you have the ick from now on.
Which goes back to the whole point, which they've done the research and they figure out that this is more likely correlated to the idea that the child might not be yours. Because back in the day, they didn't have contraception because that act meant to have a child with someone else's DNA.
All right, we're not going back to that. You
We're
guys like
not. We're
cards?
not going back to that.
No.
All I'm trying to say that is not an insecurity. It is something that is
Miguel
in
said,
your
"Wind
head,
down, bucko,
genetic,
wind down."
biological.
so my last thing that I brought. Do you guys know the country music star Jason Aldean?
Aldine?
Jason, what?
I do, yeah.
Jason Aldean.
I've heard of him. I don't know what he looks like. I mean, maybe.
So
Maybe,
the
maybe.
the 2015 blackface aside, he wrote a song about small towns, right?
Mhm.
Or I don't think he wrote it,
I've seen him.
to be honest. I think someone else wrote it, but he sung it and performed it in
Mhm.
front of a very famous courthouse in Tennessee, where not only a mob lynching happened, but a very big race riot happened. So
Okay.
people are saying that this is a pro lynching song. I mean, it is. If you read the lyrics, he's talking about good old boys. I don't know how you're gonna make it down the road in a small town, basically glorifying the frontier country justice.
So
But he
frontier-
comes out.
Frontier country justice against different races, or frontier country justice against anyone that tries to step.
We know what he's talking about.
What would you? I mean, how do you?
He don't live in no hood. He live in the woodlands,
He didn't-
boy. He know
He
what
didn't
he's
grow
saying.
up around people
No,
of
because
color.
this is a this is a genuine question that I have. Like, is he talking about race, or is he talking about just in general? If you
He
step
don't
on
So-
my property, I'm
live
shooting you
on
regardless of
O-Block
what you
or whatever
are.
it's called, right? Like,
let me put it this way. Do you know what a sundown town is?
No.
So a sundown town is usually a very rural country place
Mhm.
that will literally be like, if you're any color that's not white and you're past dark, you will get killed.
Well,
Because
there's that
they
little-
don't trust that you're not doing anything nefarious.
Well,
right?
there's that little
During the
town.
sundown
There's that little
town.
town where KKK headquarters are in their churches, whatever. There's this old man that's been in interviews all the time where he's like pretty much like blatantly being racist and things like that. Like, I know
Yeah.
there's that.
That's why I like
Yeah.
those Vice videos.
Okay.
That one where he would go to
So-
places as a black guy and talking.
Yes,
with the
that's
guys.
the one I'm talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
That's a
that's
good one.
fucking hilarious.
That's a good one.
Um,
What would I
but,
do? How you
so-
feel if I do move next door? Don't do that.
I wouldn't suggest. But so basically, what the song's lyrics is describing a sundown town. It might not blatantly say the N word, or it might not blatantly point
So
out
he's talking
that,
about that
They're
that
lynching,
town.
but yeah.
but it's
Yeah,
talking
right.
about those attributes of a sundown town. So that's why people are like, "Yo, you're glorifying lynching," and it is like, it's basically that call to justice that like the whole stand by and stand back like Trump did to the Proud Boys.
Okay. I mean, I guess
But
it's open to
Aldean came
interpretation,
out
right?
with a long ass thing saying that it meant nothing about race. He doesn't know blah blah blah, all
Where they're
this
coming from
stuff.
this and all
Well,
this.
wait a minute. If he came
Yeah.
out and said that, did he come out to say that because he doesn't want the lashback, or he really didn't mean it?
It's 100% publicity, because 20 minutes after he tweeted that out, a fellow country music star tweeted out a picture of him in 2015 in blackface.
Mm-hmm. What's the? Can
Yeah.
you guys fill me in on this blackface thing?
So blackface comes from like back in the day.
Uh huh.
You know, you couldn't be black and be in the entertainment industry unless it was like music, cabaret, or something like that. You
Mhm.
know, so like acting and stuff like that. And there was also the very racist like shows where they drew on the big like overdrawn red
Lips.
lips and then the black face and then basically just
Okay.
ripped on the African American people.
Okay. So those were racist, blatantly. But then the
Yes,
other ones
that's
were
blatantly racist.
the other ones were like, well, we don't have African American actors, so we're gonna paint our
The
face
other
black.
ones was we will not hire African Americans.
Okay.
So we'll paint our and they might not be as racist, but they are still like,
Excluding,
Disney
right?
racist, where it might be not be as blatant, like, but it's still there. It's
Okay.
still those heavy stereotypes. It's all that.
Okay. Okay. So what's this
And we don't-
2015 thing? I now I
He
get what that is.
he was in blackface. Like he literally painted himself black for I think a Halloween photo or something. I don't remember what the photo was, but yeah.
Just he painted himself black to do what?
I don't know. Be a character. I don't know. Either way, it's not acceptable at all.
So wait. So if you wore, so if you wore a poncho, would that be considered unacceptable? So if I wear
How
a
is
cowboy,
poncho
So-
compared to painting your entire face to look
so
like a
if you
completely different
pretended
race?
if you pretended to be South American,
I mean, is he going out and getting a spray tan and then acting overtly racist?
well, I mean, if he's this is what I'm trying to say. If he's acting overtly racist, then I agree with you.
This is where
Uh-huh.
I just broke kind of down the separation in my brain. I get what you're saying in the sense if you want to go out and say on Halloween dress up as a mariachi or as a ninja or a samurai, it's because it's a cool thing.
Or
It's
me
kind of
dressing up as a cowboy.
It's kind of or a cowboy. It's like a cool thing, celebrated. It's a big thing in the media, right?
It's a costume.
It's a costume, right? This guy just didn't necessarily. Maybe if he dressed up as a black actor in a movie or some character, okay. But it's kind of like, oh, I just dressed up as a black man because I'm trying to like make fun of as black people are funny. They're just funny looking people.
If he did that, I agree.
way.
If he did that,
Right.
I agree. It's
right.
racist.
He just dressed up as a black man just
Yeah.
because black people, right? Like
yeah,
that's different.
but when you're dressing up as a mariachi, you're not trying to make fun of mariachis.
That's where I made the
You're
difference.
dressing up
But
as a mariachi.
And the biggest difference is, right, mariachis weren't slaves. Mariachis didn't have years of white people making fun of them in blackface. So it has a whole negative connotation. So white people should just realize that that's something they should not do anymore.
Because it is sensitive to someone's feelings.
Not sensitive. Like if you want to be, like Eddie said, if you want to be a character, be that character.
Mm-hmm.
Don't paint yourself to look like that character. That's when you're crossing the line. I mean,
Well-
even Tropic Thunder, like,
What do you mean paint?
I would
yourself?
agree is a hilarious movie, but it had blackface in it, and like,
Oh, I see what you're talking about now.
right,
But
like,
they purposely did the blackface to be a funny thing, and
it
was a part of the movie,
black
right?
writers too.
And it was
so
a
like
part of
it,
the movie,
it was
right?
a
Like,
part
it's-
of the movie.
So
yeah,
is
it was
that
the joke,
racist?
right?
It was supposed to be a racist,
wait a
funny
minute.
joke.
Wait
It's
a minute.
still-
Is that racist?
Hey, a racist joke, even though it's funny, it's still a racist
Still
joke.
racist joke.
So do we have as many people getting upset about the
Whoa,
movie
whoa, whoa.
versus him
Now-
dressing
now-
up?
Actually, that did come back around because Tom Cruise and Robert Downey Jr. had both talked about it, and like, but it just like Eddie said, they were like, it was a different time. We were making a social commentary joke. We understand it was racist, but it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a joke.
So if you're
Right.
blatantly coming out and saying this is racist, I understand, but I'm making a joke, that's okay.
yeah,
when
because
it
you're not
when it
actually
comes
putting
without
someone down.
hateful intent,
There
right?
you go.
Hateful
It's
intent.
different.
Yeah,
And
this
also
is
there
what I'm
was a
saying.
lot of
This is my
there was a
question.
lot of black people involved with the writing and in the crew. So like,
So no,
It
it would be like if you go to a Marlon Wayans
No, I get
set
that.
and they ask you to say the N-word,
No, I get that. It's just kind of what Easy did in a ring with Duplessis. I get that. But what I'm trying to say, do we know for a fact that he's being racist, or are we just saying it because we feel that he's being racist?
No, we know for a fact because of the situational circumstances, right? There you
Right.
go.
So like, and don't get me wrong, there is that benefit of the doubt that we can give, that he just was like, corporate gave me this song, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna publish it because that's my job. I'm not gonna actively care about what it is, but you also be living in your own ignorance because you don't understand what you did.
What you put
But
out
like
there.
there was a lot of pointed stuff in there.
Okay.
Like why did you have to film the music video at that famous courthouse for that had super racist history? You know?
Okay, so cool. So I got it. Now, what was the whole story with this? Like, what was the deal with this?
Basically,
What was
so
that
you
it?
said that this song came out at the same time a bunch of stuff was happening. This was at the beginning, right, when you first
No,
explained
no. So the
Yeah, what
song
was
came
the
out in
beginning,
like May.
basically?
it? Okay.
The music video was placed in a courthouse that had multiple mass lynchings where the
Back in
crowd,
the
the
day, yeah.
populace came together and they did their form of
Back
justice.
in the past,
And there
not
was
now, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So this has a horrible history to this place, and you choose that place as your music video location
So
about a song about sundown towns, basically.
so the thing was, okay. So I'm trying to understand what we were talking about, like initially. That's what we're talking about. Him making a racist song.
Yes.
Or
So
perceived
he's
as racist
saying
song.
he's not,
Okay.
and people are trying to cancel him. Which, I mean, he did. He made a Sundown Town song, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, and people who were educated in race relations opinion.
You think it was very possible though that it was one of those things, like you said, like I was just given this song already written by my label, by all these writers, and like I just did it blindly, not really paying too much attention, just recorded it and moved on.
Like I said, yes, it could. There could be a sliver of doubt in there, right? And you could have not known the history of the courthouse, and like he could have been, like I said, blissfully ignorant to the situation.
Right.
Or
Right.
it could
But
have
you
been
know,
that was in the past.
that's
It's not a
still
big
on
deal
him.
anymore. It could have been
That's
in the past, not a big deal
no,
anymore.
you can't say that. There's horrible atrocities that happened in the past. You can't just be like the Holocaust happened in the past, so it might not happen again. When there's literal Nazis coming back into popularity, like acts of the past are how we shape the future because we learn from our history.
No, I get that. That's not what I'm asking. I guess what I'm asking about, people are trying to cancel him. Who's trying to cancel him? Who's the majority of people that are trying to cancel him?
The people that understand that it's racist and
So,
how
which
it's
is a very
racist.
very small part of a population. I
It's a
understand.
big pop.
Like what?
It's
percentage-wise?
growing. It's especially grown after like the riots and all that stuff.
I would like to.
the protests.
Can you send me the? Can you send the song? What's the name of the song or anything, so I can look at the lyrics?
But see, the thing is, you're not gonna understand the song because, like, I don't know about these events, so I wouldn't even know where to
I think
begin.
the song is
looking
something
at
along
this
the
and
lines
how to
of "Try
connect
that
these
in a
dots.
small town."
Yes, try that in a small town.
Go ahead, say that again. Say that again, Mickey.
Try that in a small town.
Try what in a small town?
That's the name of the song.
Okay, so what are the
Yeah.
words? Because I'm sure that's
Like-
what
I don't
come
know
up
the
in the
words.
song.
I just read.
Try
that
what in a
earlier.
small town?
Yeah, that's the name of the song.
There's
I don't know, dude. That's subjective.
Look up lyrics. Of try.
Okay, so here. Okay, so I'll give you the lyrics.
Go ahead.
So whoa, this is weird, right?
Okay, so
Because go ahead. I'm reading it. I'm already like halfway.
so it says, sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stump on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long. For you to find out, I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. I got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day that they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Full of good old boys, raised up right if you're looking for a fight. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross the line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town, and then try that in a small town again.
Okay, can I tell you how I understand this song now? Like, because again, I don't know the history, all of it, but this is how I understand. He's basically saying to me is like, gist of it is, don't bring gang activities to a small town because we're gonna stand up for our own. But then again, if you look at who does majority of the gang activity, it could be attributed. They say, okay, well, it's in a poor black African American neighborhoods, so you're going against directly telling African Americans don't come around the town, and this is where the racist part comes in.
I think the pre-connotations to it are more of like the little things he says, like at the beginning, stomp on the flag and light it up, kind of thing against
Yeah,
the
stomp
South.
on a flag and light
So,
it up. Yeah.
so Jay, you do, yes, you made a point there. Yes, those stereotypes to gang violence that are
Yes.
attributed to black gang violence
Right.
are in the song, and in the music video, there's stock footage of riots that they kind of allude to that it's the BLM protests, when it's really just stock footage that they got from some
Okay.
website that gives
So
you stock
I
footage.
see what you're saying. So people are saying, even though he made a song that's talking about we will not allow gang violence in small towns, but because of the way he's saying it, this could be attributed to BLM movement and stomping on a flag, which I don't agree
It's
with. I don't
not.
care
It's
what
not
color
really
you
the
are.
way he said it, right? It's the combination of everything. It's the song plus the music video
Mm-hmm.
plus his response after. Because like, if it was that benefit of the doubt, and he didn't really know, it would have been a yo. I made this song. I thought it was catchy. I didn't understand the connotations to a sundown town or how it could be racist. I wasn't trying. I apologize. There was no intent, right? But
okay,
he
so
was actively fighting that this has nothing to do about race and stuff like that. The defensive stuff that happens when white people get called racist.
okay, so if you would have came out and said, what? Here's the situation. What if you came out in that Twitter and said, yes, this one song was made specifically for people that are doing these illegal activities, that are things that are going against what I think
Do
is
you-
right, such things as stomping on a flag, doing this, doing that, and I don't care what color you are.
Real
If
quick.
you do that, I think that's wrong.
Real quick, Alex. Do you?
Would that be a different story?
It's the thing that I don't care what color,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, if you truly didn't, why are all the things pointing towards black history and black
So
hate?
you said like classic white man defense. Do you think that white people would have a better time instead of like when things like this happen? Maybe like you said, he didn't mean anything racist by it. Like this thing was just framed really wrong, and so on and so forth. If he would have just came out and been like, "You guys are stupid. Like stop trying to put this on me," instead of becoming defensive, like you said, do you think that it would been viewed in a better light than him trying to be all defensive? Who the fuck left the fridge open? Hear that? Ding, ding, ding.
No. So what about
What do you mean? Like, do you mean like if he was just like,
instead of acknowledging the instead of going as far as acknowledging stuff and like, hey, I clearly didn't mean it like this, and like stop trying to put this on my life, just brush it off as like, you guys are stupid, move on.
But I
Like
think
this is not how
he's
this went. Like,
specifically
and tried to have been more of like called it out as like I can't believe you guys are putting this on me, more of than like, oh, I'm sorry, da, da, this and this and this.
But I think my whole thing is like, I think people might be reading between the lines. I think this song he might have wrote literally like what he said it is. Like, if you want to go punch somebody, rob a store, step on burn a flag, this cannot fly. Like it's
but that's what music and art is. It's always
Implicit?
interpretation and reading between the lines, right? So yes, like I said, even with that possibility of him not actively trying to be racist, right?
Mhm.
It's his response, right?
So what would it
In
make
my
better,
opinion-
coming back and
in my
That's my
opinion-
thing, right? How should he respond
Yeah.
then?
In my
Apologize, like,
opinion,
hey, I didn't
especially if you're
understand it.
white and get accused of being racist, step one, do not go defensive. Because one, why is being called racist a bad thing? Because you think it makes you look bad, and it makes you feel like you are bad. Okay, then actively ask why you feel that you're being racist or that is racist. You know, because then it's a moment to learn. When you're being called racist, it's a moment to learn. Because even if you're not really being racist, someone might be actively like, that's not something I like, and you learn something about someone from a different race.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but there's 8 billion of us. There's 8 billion
So?
of us. Like that
Like,
argument just makes no sense.
It does, because you're actively learning. What is better, defense or learning?
No, I get that. The learning is 10 times better. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm arguing. Like the whole idea is like, well, this person might like not like this, but this person might like it. Might
But
this
now you
person?
have that in that checkpoint.
So what are you
Yes, it's
supposed
it's
to do in that
it's
case?
racist to be like, yo, these people like this. That's already a problem that you got to break down. But like it's a culture. It's an insight into their culture, right? Like, yes, maybe they and their family are only like that, but that's their culture. You know
Yeah, I get that, but you can't do in with that sense. You won't be able to do anything in this world, move anywhere you want, or say anything at all because
why?
that might hurt
You'll
someone's
have
feelings.
even more knowledge to not actively fuck up again. You
No,
know?
I see what you're saying, but I get what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say, if you move that way in trying to think whose feelings this might hurt, what you said or what you did, you will never do anything in the world at all because
I'm
there will
not
be someone that's whose
saying you're
feelings you're gonna
hurting
hurt.
feelings. I'm saying if you're being racist, that's
No, well,
different.
no, yeah, yeah, no, I
Being
agree.
racist is not hurting people's
I no,
feelings.
I agree with that. Like if you, I agree with that. I see what you're saying. And I think that being racist needs to be enforced across all the races, not just white,
Somebody
black,
left the
or
fridge open.
Hispanic or this and that. Needs to be enforced across. When one race hates the other race because of the color of their skin, right? I mean, this is what we're talking about, right?
I mean, some races have excuses and valid
Now,
ones
see, I
to
don't
hate
agree
white
with
people.
excuses. I don't agree with excuses because if you're gonna do something and overall it will be better for the entire society, then no one should do it. Like I don't think you should actively go now. I don't think Jewish
What's
should
up, Bianca?
actively go and destroy Germans for what one asshole did to
Well,
Germans back in
Germany
the.
Germany actually did good. They took down all their statues, they destroyed all their Nazi shit. They literally have a humbling day to where they remember the crimes of their past. Like, they
And
have museums that glorify the victims and not the Nazis.
well, no,
Like,
that's
they did
that's
it right.
understandable. Just like we have museums to that, and just like we have
And we have all the Confederate shit and still fight over Confederate generals even though they lost.
the Confederate generals.
Because,
I think they're fighting over this being historic something versus not.
but
But why is it
when
historical?
you
Break this down. Like, why are these guys? What were these guys fighting for?
slaves.
Think about it, right? Like,
So why do they get a 50-foot statue?
Well, I think everyone got a 50-foot statue, right?
No.
What do you
They
mean?
got a 50-foot statue because they were in a secession from the country be over slavery. So they were looked as a hero on their side, but
Mhm.
we realized that they were just racist pieces of shit, so maybe they shouldn't still have statues to this day.
So, but do you think that taking away the statue is going to change anything? I think that the problem is a little deeper than that.
It's a way to
stop
'cause-
glorifying these people.
exactly. We're not glorifying them anymore. We'll teach the true history instead of whitewashing history over it.
It doesn't make sense, right? Like for someone that grows up and learns American history and learns what all these guys did, and then you see in like me growing up in high school learning this stuff, and then you see that there's still these statues around. As a high schooler, I'm asking these questions. Why the fuck do these guys still have these statues? Why are the people
Right.
still waving this freaking flag? What is up with this? Why are you lost? Move on. Like learn that shit was wrong and move on.
No, I get that. And I get,
Yeah. They shouldn't have a statue, right? Like that doesn't make any sense.
They shouldn't have a statue if they're glorifying that. 100% agree. But they should have a statue if he did something right.
But he was fighting for the wrong side.
I get that.
It's literally like it's like we gave a statue to the terrorists that flew the planes into 9/11. Because that's what the South was. They got mad over slavery, so they tried to fight the North over that. They
for the
they
rules to
literally
not have
broke
slavery.
our country apart,
Because half didn't want the slavery and the other half wanted.
right? Which in the realms of America is an act of treason and also an act of terrorism in the realms of today.
And I think both sides were saying the same thing.
So would you give a statue to the 9/11 plane jackers?
Right now, I wouldn't.
So like, why do we have one of Robert E. Lee? Why do we have Columbus, who basically brought plagues to and killed
No,
numerous
he-
people?
Here's I can equate this to one thing. So you guys know who's Lenin?
Yeah.
Vladimir, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Lenin statues were everywhere in all of the countries that were occupied by Russia. But once they got
Yes.
independence, they took the statue out because it was their country, and they said, "We don't agree with this, and we're taking this away." Right? Because as a
Yes.
country, you can decide on doing that on your own because if you don't agree with it, right? Now, are there still statues of Lenin in Russia? Yes. But there are no statues of Lenin, let's say, in Armenia, in Georgia, in all of these other countries, right? They don't have the statues of Lenin there.
I thought Stalin took them all down.
No, they're still taking them down right after collapse as well. Stalin didn't take them all
Okay.
down. Yeah, I grew up seeing Lenin's statue. We called him Grandpa Lenin, as a matter of fact, in the main square, right?
Yeah.
Because it was still part of the communism, right? Like, so Lenin
Yeah.
was part of the communism, like the whole working class people. Now, I understand that. The country decides, this is my country, I decide what's good for me. The issue that we're having here, we live in the same country. And
To
I
be
do
this
agree with you
separation is
100%
insane.
that racism is incorrect and it is wrong 100%. I agree with that. But what I also understand, this was a history that was done, and these statues were done in a history, and maybe the country doesn't feel that this necessarily means that.
I mean
Now,
that
if they're
that
really-
is 100% the thing, right? So after the secession, after the war, after the treaty was signed, the South still did not give a fuck. They still wanted slaves. They still hated black people.
No,
they
I get
still
that.
glorified their generals.
To me,
But by that time, we are not the United States and the Confederate States. We're the United States.
yes.
So, and obviously the North was still hella racist too, so they're not going to fight to bring down racist statues. But we've evolved as a country now.
No,
Yeah,
no,
we're not
I
there
I
anymore,
see
right?
what you're saying. No, I get your point.
Yeah.
But to somebody like an immigrant like myself that comes to the United States that not necessarily lived that or even lived with somebody, family members that had that or anything like that, so I wouldn't understand the full scope of it, right? Like I just wouldn't understand. I can try to learn about it as much as I can, this and that, but I still will not understand the full scope of it. I get that. The point to
You
me
can
is whether
empathize,
that
not
statue is there
sympathize,
or
right?
not.
I was
I was
thinking
about
the
to say
same
the
thing,
same
but I
thing.
didn't
I was
want to
about to
bring
say
it
the
back,
same
man.
thing.
You can empathize, not sympathize.
No, I can't empathize. I can
No,
sympathize.
empathizing is understanding, but not actually sharing the same experience. Sympathizing is sharing.
I
the
wouldn't
same.
understand. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but you said you would try to. That is attempting empathy.
If I tried to understand, I still wouldn't understand.
You still wouldn't because you couldn't actually fully sympathize because you didn't go through it. But
Eddie,
you
what have you
attempting
done?
to that. Huh?
What have you done?
I know,
Anyway,
right?
I'm not gonna
Well, I
argue.
haven't
We went
done
back
shit.
in the circle,
I haven't
bro.
done shit.
I'm not
You're
gonna argue
right,
about
Biggie.
this.
I haven't done shit.
I'm not gonna argue about this. That's not the point. The point here is that, like, to me, whether the statue is there or it's not there, that statue doesn't mean shit to me. Historically, that statue doesn't have any value for me, in any way, shape, or form.
I understand, but you as an individual compared to the country,
That's my point.
yeah, yeah. So that's why, and I feel like we would agree with this. Like, you wouldn't put, your invaders into statues,
No,
and
no,
just
no.
because the South has hold on to this like weird ass "the South will rise again" shit.
Well, here's the thing. What's their excuse? Why they want to keep it? What is the excuse?
Keeping slavery?
No, no, no.
'Cause it was-
The
Keeping
statues?
Oh,
not slavery.
statues,
Oh.
because it's history and heritage. But what is that history and heritage? It's hate. So why would we put a 50-foot statue of hate? That literally is saying, hey, this person was, it's not telling all the hate part on that plaque.
And I think I think that's the biggest problem with democracy, right? Because in democracy, you can have a contingent of people that are going to say, this is history, heritage, which they're kind of correct that it's history and heritage. And then the other side is saying that, no, it's hate, which is they're correct as well. So,
But see, that's the thing. It's those people that are holding onto those history and heritage. Why are they doing that? It's because of that hate.
I don't,
Germany is like, fuck Nazis. We're not okay, don't get me wrong. There is a very small population in Germany that
what
are
I'm
rising
trying to say.
because the Nazi movement has been on a rise since 2016. But so it's still, like I said, they burned most of the memorabilia. Like that's why it's hard to find Nazi shit these days. That's why you're a weird motherfucker if you have Nazi shit these days. But
Well, it's
you
not only
know,
weird. You can sell it for a whole lot of money. Like try
I
to find a
mean,
Nazi tank that goes to like 10 or 20 times more money than a Allied tank.
but
If
yeah,
you have one restored and whatnot.
but they're not holding on to that heritage. They're accepting that heritage, they're accepting that history, and they're moving on to be a better person. The people that are like, that's my heritage, that's my, this
Look,
heritage, not
the
hate,
simple
is forgetting the hate that the heritage brought.
the simple fact is, look at it this way. Why do you make a statue? To glorify this person, right? And what they
Yes.
did for the world, right?
Yeah.
So what did this person do? Fight for hate. Why are we glorifying them? If you want to say as someone that is akin to one of these people, right? Like your great grandfather or something,
battles.
right?
Maybe he won
Yeah,
battles. He did this.
he
and
did
this.
And
that.
that's the thing. That's the thing, because I don't know about Eddie's education, but in my fucking history books, it never said that he was a massive dickhead slave owner that usually just raped and killed slaves. I mean, which would be a little hardcore for a high school history book, but
They didn't put it like that, but they put it pretty.
they would be like,
straight up,
he
as in-
fought for the slaves,
Yeah,
but like
but
he did a
that's-
lot of fucked shit. Like,
it
the
was-
dude
Throughout
was.
the history,
wasn't
that's
really-
what has happened with any type of slavery.
I don't know how I can put this, but it
I
wasn't
don't think
really.
the slavery was any different from slavery of Mayans or Aztecs or Egyptians or.
American slavery of black people was very different to a lot of historical slaveries because it was 10 times more brutal than most slaveries, which was basically either conquer or capture.
Mhm.
And then they were treated as a person of society, just like a very low
Like a
rank
peasant,
to
right?
society.
You're a peasant.
Yeah, yeah. Compared to beatings, mutilation, rape, all that stuff.
So you're saying that in the past that didn't happen?
He's saying that.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying America made it better. Like they took racism and they were like, let's
They
take
amplified
slavery
it a
along
lot
with
more.
us.
It
Yeah.
was a lot more amplified. It happened
Basically,
a lot more
because they
often.
combined two things full of hatred, right?
Because slavery used to be more of a necessity thing, right? I need a bunch of people to do this thing because I have a conquest, but my armies are only so big, so I'll take more, and they're gonna contribute and either work or they're gonna fight for me. And then slavery,
Yes.
yeah, and then slavery moved to like when Portugal started grinding up Africa and all the Western Europeans started doing the same. It was. I'm not saying there weren't those fucked people out there.
Yeah.
It's just like it wasn't norm. But when you look at American slavery, it's always
is the
brutal
norm.
conditions. It's always the norm.
What was the? So
And the majority is the anomaly is when you're like, oh, they were actually good to their slaves.
well, let me ask you this. What would you say percentage wise American society that owned slaves? What was the percentage on that? Only wealthy, right? Like I would assume, because you had to have
I
money to
mean,
buy.
you had to have money to buy slaves, yes.
Okay, so there would be like the minority then.
But he's saying within this slavery, right? The majority of it's like he's saying that things are flip flop. The norms on slavery are flip flop, and outside of America, slavery was looked at more of like that's just that low
But
level of life.
you can't say that. How many
peasantry.
people die in
But-
Egypt building pyramids?
Listen, I get what you're
In
saying,
bad
right?
conditions.
Because a lot of people just died back then. In general,
Yeah.
bad conditions, whether you were a slave or just someone that worked in general for normal money.
And the Egyptians actually did slavery really bad too. Like that's where
did,
America pulled a lot of their
So did
stuff.
Aztecs.
So he's saying it's one of the worst.
So did Aztecs. They were chopping people's heads off and giving them to
but
gods.
listen,
No, America was the worst. Out of the one of the worst.
So
We
he's saying
amplified
as on
that shit.
the grand scheme of slavery, majority of slavery happened where they weren't treated as badly. The norm wasn't then to be treated as badly as they were.
What do you mean? That was the whole idea of a slave was to fucking have him do the job, and if they died, they died.
But they were still seen as a person. They were still given rights. They were still given some amenities. Like it was different. Like even in Egypt, they were still respected because they were the cog in the machine that was the pharaoh. Like America brought
Respected. I wouldn't go
this.
that far as say respect. The slaves never were respected. That's why they were
I
slaves.
mean, they would have to be brutalized to be put in there because they needed that mass amount to be controlled
Yes.
by minimum people. But they still respected them with different ways
So,
because that was their culture.
so I guess what I'm
You
getting
know.
to in this one is like there was a very small majority of population in the United States that did that, right? Like, and they were in 100% wrong.
But that's the
Now
thing. That's the thing.
here's
You
where I
can't
have an
take the
issue
small
with.
but population of owners and not mention that the whole overwhelming acceptance of it. Just because there was a small amount of owners doesn't mean that there wasn't a bunch of white workers on
So
there that were doing the
this is what I was
brutalization and
going.
stuff.
This is where I was going. What I'm saying is there was a very small population that were able to afford, let's just put it that way with lack of better terms, to have the slaves, right? But then when this was done, bunch of people afterwards, even though if they were not able to afford, they're still for it, that's fucked up. This is what I'm trying to say. Right? Am I are you
I mean,
with me,
yeah.
guys? So if they
I understand. Yeah.
if you're going to support something that you cannot even afford or nor participate or be part of, you're fucking dumb, especially if that thing is wrong.
Well, it's because it's not only like we said, it's not just slavery; it's with the racism combined.
Yeah. It's the hate that came with it.
With the
Like,
racism
we didn't view black people as even a person back in the day.
It's a tool.
Like they barely got 1/4 of a person after emancipation. You know, like they've been grinding from the bottom, and American and mostly predominantly the white people has just been keeping that plunger pushing them down.
Let's just
Okay.
say they didn't
And
pull a Drake. They did not start from the bottom. Now they're there. They started from the bottom and they're still down there.
hey, Drake started from upper middle and got even richer.
No, I don't think they're still down there.
Motherfucker thinks we're forgetting about
wealth
the grassy
discrepancy is
bit.
big.
I'm
I get
still
that.
to this day saying the only good thing Drake did was take a bullet in the back on Degrassi.
I think the Drake is very smart, and what he did, he put out a bunch of fucking songs that women love and enjoy to listen to, and they buy into it. And I
Yeah,
think he did what he could.
he
do.
was like T-Pain. I got the simp music. Chill.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what he did, and he was very successful at doing that. Now the point,
He had a team that made him very successful at doing.
It doesn't
this.
matter,
He
he
does
was-
not write. He performs.
Well,
he is a performer.
yeah, but like, you kind of have to know who you're picking around you, like because I've seen a lot of times where they're like, a business owner will say, I have 7 PhDs. Oh, what kind of PhDs? I have a guy that's PhD in electrical engineering. I have a guy that's PhD in this. I have a guy PhD in that, and I'm paying them. I'm smart enough to accumulate the money, create the company, and employ these people. And they're not smart enough.
Yeah.
They're just smart to have their PhD. That's it.
But this is the thing with Drake. Like, you started from upper middle class.
Yeah.
You took mommy and daddy's money
Yeah.
and a little bit of that Degrassi money, and you got involved with a label, which
Yeah.
makes all the decisions for you.
Yeah. And he
So, like,
made a smart choice.
It's not him. He made a choice
It's
of
smart to
that
make
easy path to that Disney path to money.
That's fine. Like, he was smart enough to make that choice.
Yeah.
That's-
I'm just.
He's
So-
not knocking him, but he's just saying that.
I'm
he
not
did start
knocking.
from the
I'm
bottom.
just saying this
Oh no,
is.
the way.
Yeah,
no,
he
the
didn't
fa-
start from
oh,
the
okay,
bottom.
so you're not knocking him.
He's
Yeah,
not running through the six with his woes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, I get it, but like the idea is like, well, he took mommy and daddy's money. That has a connotation behind it. So what that he did?
I mean, he did. Like,
Yeah, so
he
what?
had a leg up. It's
Yeah, he
Jeff
did.
Bezos. The only reason Amazon
Yep,
was
he had a
successful is
leg
because
up,
he
and
took
then-
money from
So
daddy
he
and
should-
mommy.
So people like that should repent for the rest of their life because they had a
I'm
leg
not
up?
saying
never
that.
said
Oh,
that.
okay, all right,
Yeah, just
I'm
because
not saying
someone
that, no.
has given advantage doesn't mean they have to feel bad about it.
okay. So
Right.
if they're given,
I'm just
advantage-
breaking the illusion of the bootstraps theory with America.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody gave me fucking money. And I'm doing okay.
I bet you immigration didn't even give you boots or straps
What didn't give me the boots?
to pull yourself up on.
Immigration.
That ideology that America has, pull yourself up by your
Yeah.
bootstraps and move
But
on.
immigration didn't. Give me
Everyone
anything.
can.
Immigration didn't give me anything. We applied. Lawyer took care of it. The case went through, and they said okay.
I know. I was making a joke that America says you pull yourself up in your bootstraps. So you, as an immigrant, when you became an American citizen, should have been supplied your boots and straps. to pull yourself up from.
Mm, I mean, they already did by allowing me be a citizen. No, I get that because see, like this is what I'm not understanding. You guys saying it's flying over your head, but like I'm not getting what you're alluding to. Like this is what my issue is. Like I don't understand
I
what
was
you're alluding.
making social commentary about the American way that you need money to get to even more money, and that the bootstrap
But
theory is
I don't
just
think
a
that's the American.
fantasy.
I don't think that's the American way. I think that's everywhere in the world. You need money to make to get to even more money.
That's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
So
America's theory is you can come here with nothing, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and then be a billion millionaire. You
no,
know,
I don't
like
think it's a billion and million. I don't think anyone has the illusion of that. You have the chance of getting there, but you
Oh
can
no, dude.
come to United States.
A lot
Wait,
of
wait a minute.
people
You can
have that
come in
illusion.
United States and have a comfortable life by working hard.
Well, good thing you said
if
that.
you're
Sam, because
realistic,
a lot of people
yes.
don't think about it that way. They think money grows on trees.
Well, a lot of people do think the money grows on trees. I agree with that.
Especially
Like
foreigners looking
I've
at
had a
America.
Yep.
Yes, and
yeah, I've had a couple of immigrant friends that are like, my family's just constantly asking for money and doesn't understand that I can barely even afford food here.
Mm.
Like,
correct.
you know,
And that's the families. America doesn't
But he's
display this.
saying, yeah, they do. They definitely do.
America
They definitely
doesn't
try and
display
teach
this.
us that as kids too, and they don't teach you the reality of that situation.
No, this comes from an idea that America is the richest country and they have the more control. That means people that
but
live there live a
that's
great
also a
life.
thing we actively portray, right?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
always about popularism. We're always about what celebrities are going off. We're showing off all our rich and fancy shit, right?
Yes.
Because that's what we want. We want immigrants to come into the country thinking that they can obtain that by just being in this country.
I don't think we want the immigrants to come in. I think we're just doing this, and then immigrants look at it and say, "I could have that life, so let's go to America."
Yeah, that's the
think that's what
motivation
happens.
factor.
Well,
Yeah,
that's the way they look
motivation
at it. Yeah.
factor.
But the way that
So
the corporate's
why
looking
else
at
would
it,
we advertise that way if we didn't want immigrants to think that
Because
they
it's
could
a
come
human
in?
thing to show that you have a leg up on another person.
No, that's the thing. We want them to think that they can come in so that they can then join the other cogs on the low paying run and be living paycheck to paycheck, if even that, or having to
So,
work 4 to 5 jobs.
so what would be ideally like? What would you suggest United States life would be ideally? Like, what should it be for it to be utopia?
I think
Utopia.
well, no, so
See what I
the
mean?
qu- the
Like this
biggest
is when you're gonna start running into issues now.
this is
We
my
have
this
five,
is
we
my
have
thing.
5 minutes. You
Okay.
can. We're not gonna get through
This
that
is-
depth of a question.
This is this is my thing. The way we portray that you could move on and grow to be a successful person in America to these people, and not only to immigrants, to American kids, is not the way we try and mold them in school. That's where I could see the biggest problem is the way we try and educate them. It's not to mold them to be these successful people and business owners. No, it's to mold them to be these cogs, like he's saying. That's where I could see one of the biggest problems.
That's fine.
Right,
but-
because like you always hear the billionaire that didn't go to school or dropped out of school,
Yeah,
right?
but you never
But
hear
you
about the
don't
ones that
hear
didn't
that
make
that billionaire also got millions of dollars from their parents to then turn it into something else and then grow from there. Like, yes, they succeeded in that tiny percentile, but they love to hide the story of where they got that influx of cash to keep them
Yeah, because it's not
ahead of
sexy.
everyone.
I get it. It's
That's
not
why
sexy.
that's why you see more welfare to wealth than you do wealth to welfare.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what I'm trying to argue is that's kind of the human thing, right? Like because even if you take a third world country, let's just take Colombia. In Colombia, you have the same people that are saying the same exact thing as the rich people here. The rich people there are saying the same exact thing. Work hard, do this, do this. But somebody might have had help. Somebody might have gotten lucky. But the point here is what I'm trying to say is you have 1 billionaire. To that 1 billionaire, you have probably 10 to 20 million people that did not succeed and right now are bums. What I'm trying to say, is it possible in the United States to get there? Yes. What are the chances to
Not
get there? Very
to a
small.
billion, not
Very
legally.
small.
They're very like 3% chance of legally obtaining $1 billion.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. It's a very small chance. However, there is a chance to become a billionaire in this country. That chance
You're
is
either
much,
avoiding taxes or doing
whatever,
something
whatever
dirty
you're doing.
on the side,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
So,
I'm saying
but
the
we
chance is
don't
small.
give that side is what I'm saying, right?
Well, yeah.
We don't. We give the happy-go-lucky. Oh, bootstraps. He pulled himself up, and now he's
But,
living this wealthy life.
but what country
While
gives that
we're,
side?
but the other thing is we're not passing legislation to keep those cogs happy and secure and safe. We're passing things to make sure that the billionaire doesn't have to spend $1 million, which is nothing to him, when the paycheck to paycheck is literally worrying about what's going to happen if a $350 emergency comes up.
No, I get that. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we've
I
had this
understand.
conversation before. Corporate greed is the thing, but at the same time, like Jake says, what do you expect these guys to do? They are gonna do as much as they can to keep their money, right? But there is just
And
this,
keep putting money into keep putting money.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's
exactly.
my point. So you have really, in my opinion, it's like being realistic. You know this is what's going on. So you have two options: be smart enough, die trying, or don't do shit. Like there's no really option in the
I mean,
middle.
you could work your ass to the bone every day and still not make
Correct,
40,000 a year.
but that's what it is.
That doesn't gauge your level of success.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. You have two options: either die trying to make it there to get to whatever level you're trying to get to, or just quit. There's no in between, really.
I mean, you can't just quit.
I heard.
And I agree with that. You can't just quit. So you do whatever you got to do, grounded, and then statistically, if you look at it, majority of people are not gonna reach that. Because what is
So why? But my issue is, why do we make it so hard on the people, the literal like workforce that are making the billionaires that money? Why do we make it hard for them when it's already so easy for the billionaires?
I don't think it's easy for them because
It is.
it's
no,
easy. It's easy for them once they're already
It's
there.
easy to make $1 million. It's harder to keep it.
Ben Shapiro doesn't even know how much groceries cost because he makes millions of dollars a year.
Yeah, Ben
He thinks
Shapiro-
that there's not actively starving children in America when there is. Some children don't even get more than school meal a year
Yeah, because
or a day.
with each level of your wealth, you got different type of problems to worry about. So I think at his level, he has got his problems to worry about. At this level, they got their problems to worry about. What he's saying is like, I get that you have problems, but they're not my problems, and I don't care. Now, where he's going out there and talking hella
Doesn't sound
shit,
like
that's
what he's
wrong.
saying.
I think
Sounds like he's
him-
saying those problems don't exist.
Yeah.
No,
he's saying
I
like
don't think
there's
so. He's
no
saying it's a
starving
culture
children.
issue. I think
No.
he's saying it's a culture issue. That's what he's saying.
No, it's not. Doesn't sound like it. So we're at the 2 hours, guys. We're a little past, I think, right?
Anyway,
call it for
we can
today.
continue this next time, guys. Give
Yeah.
you-
Tuesday we're gonna have Laz on. Hopefully he'll be able to make it. Thank you guys for coming in today. Everybody who's in the chat, appreciate you guys
And I
coming
don't
in.
want to fucking hear that you guys are not getting content. And I don't want to hear it that you guys want to do something funner because it's not fun enough.
What do you mean? Fun
Nothing,
is not fun enough.
nothing. Those was a stone into somebody else's garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cut the feed, Mickey.
Yeah.
Cut the feed.
You guys have